Howell Planning Board meeting for Thursday, July 16th, 2026. Opening statement, please.
I hereby declare this meeting of the Howell Township Planning Board to be open, adequate notice having been given pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act in the following manner. First, on January 8th, 2026, a copy of said notice was emailed to the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger. Second, on January 8th, 2026, a copy of said notice was hand-delivered to the clerk of the Township of Howell. Third, on January 8th, 2026, said notice was posted in the office of the Planning Board and on the bulletin board in the Howell Township Municipal Building, 4567 Route 9, Howell Township, New Jersey. In accordance with the Fire Prevention Code and for your safety, please be advised that this facility is designed with 2 emergency exits at the front and rear of the meeting room. Furthermore, smoking is not permitted in the municipal building. Please take note that this meeting is being videotaped for possible future broadcast on Howell Township TV 77. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Beto?
Here.
Mr. Friedman?
Here.
Mr. Gimble?
Here.
Brian Greenfield is excused. Mr. Carbonic is absent. Mr. McNicholas?
Here.
Mr. Mercer?
Here.
Councilman Rebel?
Here.
Mr. Wecko?
Here.
Ms. Carr?
Here.
Chairman Huzzer?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and afterwards a moment of silence for those men and women who have served both here and abroad. Thank you. Lisa, any correspondence this evening?
Yes, there's a letter from Greg Vela, attorney for J&S Flex Center, asking that the application be carried to August 20th, 2026 with no further notice.
Thank you. Andy, could you please make that official announcement?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is application case SP-1138, J&S Flex Center, LLC. It's an application for preliminary and final major site plan with ancillary variance design waiver relief. This matter is going to be carried to August 24th, 20th, with no further notice. If someone's here for that application, please come on August 20th.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
Ordinance O-26-18, amending the Township Code to prohibit data centers in all zoning districts was introduced by the council and is scheduled for public hearing and adoption at the August 18th council meeting. The planning board needs to review and comment on whether it is substantially consistent with the master plan.
This evening?
There's one more meeting that you can do it at, too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, we'd want time for the board planner
Yeah.
to give the board that opinion.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We have 4 resolutions. First, case number SD 3030, 30 East 3rd Street LLC, a resolution granting submission waivers. Eligible voters, Mr. Beto, Mr. Friedman, Mr. Gimble, Mr. McNicholas, Mr. Mercer, Councilman Rebel, and myself. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Mercer, do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Mr. McNicholas?
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Gimble?
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Councilman Rebel?
Yes.
Mr. Wecko?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next is case number SP111A, Comets, Inc. It's a resolution granting submission waivers. Are the eligible voters the same as previous? Because it says 514.
What do you mean?
I'm assuming it is.
Who's eligible? It's Beto, Friedman, Gimble, Carbonic.
Yeah, it's the same, right?
Was there
Was there a motion?
Wet.
Oh, sorry. Was there a motion?
Wet code.
No, because on the agenda it says eligible voters 514. It doesn't say the names of the eligible voters. I'm assuming it's the same.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about
All
that.
right, eligible voters, Mr. Beto, am I the only one that has that?
You might be the only one.
Why do I have
Yeah.
It just has your
Mine
name.
has that and you at the end.
There you go.
Let's hear it right.
She made you a
Yeah,
special.
your name's missing from
I have an old one. I apologize. All right. All right, eligible voters, Mr. Beto, Mr. Friedman, Mr. Gimbel, Mr. McNicholas, Mr. Mercer, Councilman Rebel, Mr. Wetko, and myself. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Beto, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. McNicholas?
Mr. Beto,
Yes.
Mr. Friedman,
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel,
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Councilman Rebel,
Yes.
Mr. Wetko,
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer.
Yes.
Motion carries, resolution is memorialized.
Case number SP 1147 G7B LLC, resolution granting submission waivers. Eligible voters, Mr. Beto, Mr. Friedman, Mr. Gimbel, Mr. McNicholas, Mr. Mercer, Councilman Rebel, Mr. Wetko, and myself. Do I have a motion?
I'll so move.
Mr. Friedman, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Mercer?
Mr. Beto,
Yes.
Mr. Friedman,
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel,
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Councilman Rebel,
Yes.
Mr. Wetko,
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer.
Yes.
Resolution is memorialized.
And finally, case number SP 1148 Ravenbolt Incorporated, resolution granting submission waivers. Eligible voters, Mr. Friedman, Mr. Gimbel, Mr. McNicholas, Mr. Wetko, Ms. Cower, and myself. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Is that Mr. Gimbel?
Second.
Who's the motion?
Who was doing first?
Mercer,
I
you're
was
not on
first.
it. You're not on it.
Oh, I'm not.
No. So I need
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Wait,
Okay. Mr. Gimbel and Mr. Wetko.
Mr. Gimbel with the motion and Mr. Wetko with the second. Mr. Friedman,
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel,
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas,
Yes.
Mr. Wetko,
Yes.
Ms. Core,
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer.
Yes.
Resolution is memorialized.
Thank you. We will go on to submission waivers at this time. The first being for case number SP 993A-2 for New Jersey Natural Gas Company. This is for an amended preliminary and final major site plan. Good evening.
Good evening. Will Lang of CSG Law, on behalf of the applicant, our engineers here, should there be any questions.
Got it. Usually we turn it over to our township engineer to go over everything.
Sure. So, Mr. Chairman, our office had issued a review letter. We issued a completeness letter, and then we issued a review letter. The applicant has also resubmitted information, and I'm in the process of finalizing that review letter. Having said that, given the scope of this application, it's actually to build a 5,750 square foot steel building in the middle of the site. So there's no changes to utility service, no changes in parking, landscape lighting, or stormwater. So as a result, and just for purposes of brevity, I'm going to actually list the checklist submission items because I've done that review already. So it's checklist item 5, 13, 14, 16, 17, 51B, 52, 53, 57, 58, 60, 61, 64, 65, 66, 71, 75, 79, 80, 81, 82, 84, 85. So those are the waivers based upon our most recent review. And again, given the scope of this application, I take no exception to the waiving of those for the purposes of deeming this application complete.
Good, Counselor? All right. Any questions, gentlemen? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Make motion to approve?
Mr. McNicholas, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Friedman. Roll call, please.
Mr. Beto,
Yes.
Mr. Friedman,
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel,
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Councilman Rebel,
Yes.
Mr. Wetko,
Yes.
Ms. Core,
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, this evening, we're going to rearrange the agenda a bit, and I know there's some people here for the area in need of redevelopment hearing. We're going to start with that, and then we're going to move on to case number SP 111A, Comets, followed by case number SP 1148, Ravenbolt, Inc., and then end the evening with case number SP 1146, redevelopment Capital Holdings. So at this time, we'll be discussing the area in need of redevelopment. We did discuss this at the last meeting.
Yes.
Andy, I don't know if you want
Yeah,
to kind of
Mr. Chairman, there was Jennifer Beam, our planner, presented testimony on the area in need of redevelopment in the expanded study area report. That's the Route 9 South, the area on Route 9 South. Ms. Beam made her presentation. The matter was open to the public, and then the board carried it till tonight. You were
Yep.
absent last meeting. So I don't know if there's any other presentation. Christine, Ms. Bell, who's here for Jen tonight, wants
Right.
to just summarize, or
Sure, I
maybe,
can give a brief
or
summary
however
of
you want
it.
to proceed.
Yeah, Christine, floor is yours.
So, in June of 2024, the township adopted a resolution determining a larger study area along Route 9 South to be in need of redevelopment, a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. In April of this year, the council adopted a resolution authorizing the planning board to conduct an investigation for an expanded area in need of redevelopment for non-condemnation, which includes Block 137, lots 6.01, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.03, and 15.04, and Block 138, Lot 24. So this study looks at those particular lots to add to the original area, Route 9 South area in need of redevelopment study. We found that these additional lots, the expanded area, did qualify as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment, and we found they met a number of criteria. Block 137, lots 6.01, 11, and 12 met criteria A, which identifies the generality of buildings being substandard, unsafe, dilapidated, or obsolescent, or possess any of the such characteristics. I am trying to go through this quickly because I know you had it.
Take your time. Yeah.
This is kind of just a summary of what was presented on last time, but just if anyone is new to this, to be designated as an area in need of redevelopment, there is statutory criteria you need to meet, which is what I'm talking about when I say criteria A, B, C, D. I won't go through the specifics of all of the criteria, just for brevity. I will discuss the ones we determined the area met. We also determined that blocks 137, lots 11 and 1504 met criteria B, which is the discontinuance of the use of buildings previously used for commercial, manufacturing, or industrial purposes, the abandonment of such buildings, or the same being allowed to fall into so great a state of disrepair as to be untenable. We found that criteria C applied to block 137, lot 15.03, which applies to land that is owned by the municipality, the county, a local housing authority, a redevelopment agency or redevelopment entity, or unimproved vacant land that has remained so for a period of 10 years prior to the adoption of the resolution, and that by reason of its location, remoteness, lack of means of access to developed sections or portions of the municipality, or topography or nature of the soil, it is not likely to be developed through the instrumentality of private capital. We found that block 137, lots 6.01, 11, 12, 14, and block 138, lot 24, qualified as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment under criterion D, which applies to areas with buildings or improvements which, by reason of dilapidation, obsolescence, overcrowding, faulty arrangement or design, lack of ventilation, light, and sanitary facilities, excessive land coverage, deleterious land use or obsolete layout, or any combination of these or other factors are detrimental to the safety, health, moral, or welfare of the community. And then we found that Block 137, lots 10 and 13, met the criteria for an area in need of redevelopment under criterion H, which is the designation of the delineated area consistent with smart growth planning principles adopted pursuant to law or regulation. So we found all of the parcels within this amended study area to meet the criteria to be designated a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment, to further expand that original area in need of redevelopment designation. If you have any specific questions about specific parcels or the overall process, I can certainly go into that a bit more, but.
My 2 cents, for what it's worth, as a, member of the planning board and a resident of Howell Township, I think this is long overdue. It's one of these things that you drive down Route 9 and you kind of shake your head. I commend, you guys working on this and the council. Route 9 could be pretty awesome. And I think this is a long overdue thing, so well done. Does anybody have any comments or questions from the planning board? No? Andy, anything?
No, as I said, this was open to the public. It had
Yeah.
a public hearing, so I think it's ripe for, consideration or a vote.
Yeah, should I,
Open it up.
yeah, I'm going to open it up to the
Okay.
public because there are people here.
Well, we do have, just so, Mr. Chairman, we have the second
Second.
study for the northbound side.
Right.
Because there's 2 different study areas.
Yeah, I'll wait until the end then.
No, I would suggest we do
Oh, for
2
this.
votes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's really 2 different redevelopment
Got it.
studies. So if you're going to open it to public for this one, I would do it now.
Okay, so if anybody from the public would like to make a comment, ask questions, now's the time. Seeing none, okay. Now we're on to the northbound side.
Well, vote first.
Well, I would
You wanna get a
suggest-
vote?
I would suggest however, you could do it either way.
Let's hear it first. I want to hear about the northbound.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna,
Yep.
Vote on them separately.
yeah.
So similarly, I will go into a bit more detail on this one because this is your first time hearing about this, but
Christine, just one second. Yeah, right, so this was scheduled the last meeting, and the
Yes.
board carried it till tonight.
Right.
There was no presentation or public hearing.
Right.
Yep. Sorry, Christine.
thank you, Ann. So this is a area in need of redevelopment investigation report to designate specific parcels on the northbound side of Route 9 for a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. Those parcels include Block 130, lots 30, 31.01, 35.02, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41.01, 44, 45, 49, 51.01, and 51.03. Block 140, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.01, and 5.01. Block 142, lots 1.02, 1.03, 1.04, 1.05, 4, 8.01, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Block 142.01, lot 209. Block 143, lots 21, 22, and 23.01. Block 144, lots 73.01, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 95.01, 98, 100, 100.01, 101, 102, 104, 105, 106, 107, 109.01, 113, 114, 115, 116.01, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, and 125. And those parcels are located on the northbound portion of Route 9 from White Street to the Freehold Township municipal boundary, just south of Edinburgh Road. As I stated earlier, there is statutory criteria for designating an area in need of redevelopment. I will now, this time, go into that statutory criteria a bit more. There is criterion A. So to determine an area in need of redevelopment, the governing body of a municipality must conclude that the study area contains any of the following conditions. So it has to meet any of the criteria. A is the generality of buildings are substandard, unsafe, unsanitary, dilapidated, or obsolescent, or possess any such characteristics, or are so lacking in light, air, or space as to be conducive to unwholesome living or working conditions. Criteria B is the discontinuance of the use of buildings previously used for commercial, manufacturing, or industrial purposes, the abandonment of such buildings, or the same being allowed to fall into so great a state of disrepair as to be untenantable. Criteria C is land that is owned by the municipality, the county, a local housing authority, redevelopment agency, or the redevelopment entity, or unimproved vacant land that has remained so for a period of 10 years prior to the adoption of the resolution, and that by reason of its location, remoteness, lack of means of access to developed sections or portions of the municipality, or topography, nature of the soil, it is not likely to be developed through the instrumentality of private capital. Criteria D is areas with buildings or improvements which by reason of dilapidation, obsolescence, overcrowding, faulty arrangement or design, lack of ventilation, light and sanitary facilities, excessive land coverage, deleterious land use or obsolete layout, or any combination of these factors are detrimental to the health, safety, morals, or welfare of the community. Criteria E is a growing lack or total lack of the proper utilization of areas caused by the condition of title, diverse ownership of the real properties therein, or other similar conditions which impede land assemblage or discourage the undertaking of improvements, resulting in stagnant and unproductive condition of land potentially useful and valuable for contributing to and serving the public health, safety, and welfare, which condition is presumed to be having a negative social or economic impact or otherwise being detrimental to the safety, health, morals, or welfare of the surrounding area or the community in general. Criteria F is areas in excess of 5 contiguous acres whereon buildings or improvements have been destroyed, consumed by fire, demolished, or altered by the action of storm, fire, cyclone, tornado, earthquake, or other casualty in such a way that the aggregate assessed value of the area has been materially depreciated. Criteria G is areas that have New Jersey Urban Enterprise Zone Acts, urban enterprise areas. Criteria H is the designation of the areas consistent with smart growth planning principles, and those are the areas that can be designated. So we went out, we looked at all of, we did conducted site visits of the entire study area. We looked at tax records, and we determined that the entire study area could be designated as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. And why I've emphasized the non-condemnation part of it, again, is that means that eminent domain cannot be used. It has to, the property owners have to come forward and want to redevelop the site if designated an area in need of redevelopment. We found the study area could be designated under criterion A, C, D, E, and H. We found that Block 144, lots 100.01 and 1.09 met criterion A. Block 130, lots 44 and 51.03. Block 144, lots 75, 77, 84, 85, 92, 114, 115, 119, and 121. Block 143, lot 23.01. Block 40, lot 1, block 142, lots 4 and 11 met criteria. And C, block 130, lots 30, 31.01, 41.01, 49, and 51.01. Block 144, lots 73.01, 76, 77, 80, 81, 82, 83, 87, 93, 94, 98, 102, 104, 107, 113, 116.01, and 124. Block 143, lots 21 and 22. Block 140, lots 2, 3, 4, and 4.01. And block 142, lots 1.04, 8.01, and 12 met criterion D. Block 144, lot 86 met criterion E. And then block 144, lots 113, block 142, lot 1.04, and block 142.01, lot 209 met criterion H. So overall, we found that the entire study area could be designated as an area in need of redevelopment. And again, if you have any specific questions about any of the parcels, I can certainly, or the criteria, I can certainly answer them.
Thank you, Christine. Any questions, gentlemen?
Yeah, just one question. You said that they don't have to comply, the property owners?
No, so I said that the area cannot be.
Condemned.
Right, so it's a non-condemnation designation. So that means eminent domain cannot be used to take properties to redevelop them. It would.
And just, again, sorry to interrupt, and for the record, that's how the Township Council referred the study, asked the planning board to do an investigation, and that resolution asked it to be non-condemnation as well. So that, and ultimately, it'll be the council's determination based on, this board's recommendation, but it was referred to the board as a non-condemnation study.
So enforcement would come into effect if they didn't do anything?
Well, when you say
The-
enforcement, what do you mean?
Like the properties that are,
So-
in bad repair?
So this is really the first step.
Right.
This designation. After this, the next step would be to prepare a redevelopment plan
Okay. All right,
for
so
the
this is-
area.
This is a zoning
This
process?
is just the
Right.
study portion, and then it'll
Yeah.
carry into.
So if the council ultimately, based on, recommendations of this board, determines, and if this board agrees with Christine's recommendations, then it'll get referred back to council. Council will ultimately, and could by resolution, also adopt the findings would be this board, the planning board, and then, declare those properties that are subject to the study as an area in need of redevelopment. And as Christine points out, the next step would be for the council to consider developing a redevelopment plan, which is in essence zoning, or could be either superseding or overlay zoning for the properties within the study area.
Anybody else? Good.
Actually, I might just be consuming a little bit too much of number soup, but did we miss block 139, lot 7, 7.01, and 8? Because that's on my agenda, I just didn't hear those lots and block spoke.
In the first, I think.
In the first,
Northbound side of Route 9 designated as blocks
Blocks
139, lot 7, 7.01, and 8.
we do not have them.
But that's just on, only on my agenda?
No, it's here
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
But those properties weren't included, Christine.
No, I don't believe so. They're not. Block 139, you said?
39, 7, 701, and 8.
No, they're not in this study. Yeah.
So was the question, were they supposed to be?
I guess that is the question, are they supposed to be?
You have the referring resolution, Christine, as part of your
I
study?
can pull it up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna start editing my reports before they go out, buddy.
I was following along, Christine, I was following along.
No, I appreciate that. This is the expanded. The northbound study and resolution R26-150 does not have block 139 in it, Andy.
So it wasn't referred. So, and where are you, I'm sorry, where are you reading those?
So this is on the
That's
agenda.
So it's probably the, yeah, there were, I just think that's an agenda.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a lot
But,
of just
yeah, it's a
numbers.
lot of properties. but-
okay, so
yeah.
we're gonna remove block 139, lots 7, 701, and 8 from the agenda, because they're not included. All right.
Good catch.
That was missed on the.
Any members from the public have any questions, comments, concerns?
Just to follow up on that, block 139 was in the initial southbound.
The southbound, right? Yeah, because I remember you
Study,
stating those.
yes.
So somehow it got,
Oh, okay.
Just got shifted around in the
Okay.
paragraph.
Yeah.
Even better catch.
remember you, yeah.
And for that one.
All right, any members from the public? Yes, sir. Good evening. Could you just state your name for the record, please?
How you doing?
Good.
It's, Drew Spira.
Hey, Drew.
So,
Do you want, can I just,
Gotta swear you in.
do you affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? We do this for every,
yeah, sure.
we do this for every
I agree.
person that comes up. It's not you.
Didn't know I was testifying, but, so I think it's great that we're gonna try to clean up Route 9. It's been a disaster for a long time. I just find it a little interesting, and I don't mean this offensively to anybody, but the property that's last on your agenda, block 130, 30, and 3101, happens to be on that list. When the business just left in 6 months. So, I just think that's, we've had, I mean, the building all over the place have been dilapidated for years. And all of a sudden now this one's on the list of needing to be, whatever you want to call it, you guys are doing. So, I just wanted to point that out. I found it a little strange, and I needed to say something now before I speak later on anyway.
Okay,
That's it. Thank you.
thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, close the public portion. Any final remarks? No? Okay. At this time, we'll have two separate votes. I guess we'll do one for the southbound side first, and then the second for the northbound side. So do I have a motion? Is this a motion to,
It would be, Mr. Chairman, a motion to designate the study area as defined in those studies as a, not determining the study area as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment.
got it?
Non-condemnation
Non-con-
area in need of redevelopment. As
Non-condemnation.
defined, and the properties that are as defined in the report.
And it's two separate votes, right? One for the southbound?
I think so, just
Okay.
because they're two distinct areas.
So we'll do the one that Christine summarized first on the southbound side. So is this I mean, what is this, though? Is it a resolution? What?
It'll be a resolution.
Okay.
It'll be a confirmed or through memorialized through a resolution.
Okay,
But, and I could write a letter to the township clerk advising, in the meantime, advising, the council of the board's determination.
got it.
And then the council actually enacts it.
It's ultimately up to the council. So this is under the local redevelopment and housing law, the township, the governing body of the town, in this case, township council, will ultimately make the determination, but the law requires, it started at the council with a referral here. We had the planner do the study, you heard the testimony, had a public hearing. You'll make it's in essence a recommendation to the council. And ultimately, it'll be up to them. If they agree or want to move forward, it'd be by resolution.
Okay, so the first vote will be for a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment on the southbound side as first discussed by Christine and summarized. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Mercer makes a motion. Do I have a second
I'll
to
second.
approve?
I'll second.
Mr. Friedman for the second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel?
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Councilman Rebel?
Yes.
Mr. Wetko?
Yes.
Ms. Core?
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the second vote will be for a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment on the northbound side of Route 9 as discussed this evening. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Wetko, a motion to approve?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Mercer? Roll call, please.
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel?
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Councilman Rebel?
Yes.
Mr. Wetko?
Yes.
Ms. Core?
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, on to the applications. First this evening will be case number SP 1111A, Comets, for amended preliminary and final major site plan with ancillary variance and design waiver relief.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Salvatore Alfieri, Cleary, Giacobbe, Alfieri, and Jacobs on behalf of the applicant. Thank you for moving us up. We'll be as brief as you allow us to be.
Sure.
As the board may recall, this board granted site plan approval to the Comets Inc. and the Comets family who are present this evening for the property on Route 33 for a contractor's yard. That approval has been in place. The applicant's been working to perfect that approval. In the interim, they have decided to amend the application to include a small mezzanine for storage only. The intensification, there'll be no intensification of the operations. They're very minor site plan changes that the applicant's engineer will discuss briefly. The other component of the application is that the Comets would like to install an American flag near the freestanding monument sign that was approved previously. That flag is closer to the road than is allowed under the ordinance, so that would trigger a bulk variance relief for setback. Our engineer is present. We'd like to have him sworn in, please, Andy.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name for the record, spell your last.
My name is Hassan Maqsood, M-A-Q-S-O-O-D.
Witness sworn.
Hassan, would you place your credentials on the record, please?
Yeah, I'm a professional engineer licensed in the state of New Jersey. My license is current and in good standing. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in civil engineering and have approximately 5 years of experience in land development engineering throughout New Jersey.
Yeah, we'll accept your credentials. Thank you.
Thank you. And you worked on this project from the original application through the present, correct?
Correct.
All right, you heard my summary. Can you just elaborate a little more detail as to what the applicant is currently proposing?
Yeah, the primary purpose of this application is the addition of the mezzanine storage area, approximately 1,209 square feet. That would be on the second floor. And the other addition is the 35-foot flagpole. Beyond that, there's some minor revisions to just the parking areas at the rear, just for better site circulation for the business. And I think there's no other changes on the site besides those. We're still compliant with all the conditional uses, the conditional use requirements for the trade contractor business in the zone. I think that's it.
And you had an opportunity, we have a report from the planner dated July 15th, the board engineer dated April 30th, and I also believe you've communicated with Shari, is that correct?
Correct. We agree to comply with all the minor technical comments in the board engineer and planner's review. There was a question about the 50-foot landscape buffer. That has remained unchanged from the original approval, and we've discussed with the board's licensed tree expert, and she is satisfied with that buffer.
That's really all we have.
Thanks, Sal. Laura, Christine, anything on this one?
Sure. So, Mr. Chairman, based upon what's being put on the record and the mezzanine being used for storage only, I take no exception to that from an engineering perspective. Similarly, I take no exception to the flagpole installation.
From a planning perspective, the same. I take no exception to the flagpole or the mezzanine being used for storage only.
And Shari, are you happy? Okay.
Gentlemen, any questions? Public, any questions, comments? Yeah, come on up, sir. I give you a lot of credit. It's coming to a planning board meeting to put up an American flagpole. It's, I don't know. Good evening. Could you just state your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Pablo Samuel, and the last name is Samuel.
Hi, Pablo.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes. I just had a few questions.
Sure.
I don't like to waste any time. So the document that was sent out to my home mentioned a privacy fence, and I just wanted to know where that was going to run along. Was that near 33?
There is a map up there.
I'm going to try to zoom.
It'll zoom in on it.
I mean, Hassan, do you remember
Yeah,
where
it
the
would-
fence
it
was?
would
I mean,
be-
that's not a subject to this portion, but where
Okay.
was the fence going to be?
It was going to be
Here it is,
along the left side.
8-foot chain link fence with screen.
See the left side of the property.
The left side. So is that, so I live on 13 Yellowbrook, and so my property goes to the back like a pizza, like a point in the back. So where the rest of the residents are.
There-
I just wanted to know if that privacy fence was there, and if it was, are we going to take any trees down, anything like that?
There will be a privacy fence at the rear along with additional planted buffer along the rear of this property as well.
Okay, gotcha. And then the only other thing, well, maybe two quick things. I just didn't know what the company was, what type of company.
The Comets Incorporated, they're a company that specializes in trenchless utility installation services on highways, directional drilling, so any utility installation.
Yeah,
A
my-
lot of
my-
that work is done on site. It's all
Yeah,
done off.
this is just a yard for their trucks and their fleet vehicles too.
And then the last thing I just wanted to mention was, I just wanted to know if everyone knew about that area back there, that the Yellow Brook runs through it, the stream that's back there. I moved into the property maybe 15 years ago, and about 15 years ago, there's a species of tree frog that's along the entire street, especially my property. And usually around May, you can hear it just chirping really loud. It's a wonderful thing. Over 15 years, when the company started, they were closed when I moved in. As little by little, when they started coming in, you can hear less and less tree frogs. So right now, this year, I just wanted to mention that you can only hear a few of those tree frogs back there. I think it's important just to mention, to bring it up, that stream is back there and there's vernal pools back there. And I just don't know if anybody has ever done a study on the vernal pools back there or the tree frogs. And I think that's important for someone just to think about. That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Okay? Thanks.
Sure. So, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I mean, I appreciate the comments. This is amended, so this site plan is already approved for development.
Yeah.
We're strictly here for the mezzanine area and the flagpole. I'd have to jog my memory, but I'm pretty sure they did an environmental impact study, and there are wetlands to the rear of their property, so they did have a DEP review as part of their site plan.
And that's correct.
Okay. Anybody else? Seeing none, close the public portion. Sal, anything else this evening?
That's all we have, Mr. Chair. Thank
All
you.
right. Gentlemen, I will entertain a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. McNicholas with the motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Friedman with the second.
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel?
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Councilman Rebel?
Yes.
Mr. Wetko?
Yes.
Ms. Core?
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer?
Yes.
Application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Saab. Good
Good night,
evening.
everyone.
Moving right along, next is case number SP 1148, Ravenvolt Incorporated. It was a minor site plan with ancillary variance relief. Hello again.
Hello again. Good evening.
Floor is yours.
Thank you.
Sure.
Tonight we are here before the board with our client, Ravenvolt. We are seeking minor site plan and variance approval. And any other variances, relief, or waivers that may be required on our application for the property located at 4900 Route 9 in Howell, which is located in the HD1.
Counselor, I'm sorry, can you just introduce yourself?
You need to put your appearance on the
Sorry, I just
record.
went right into it. Lisa Liley, Porzio, Bromberg, and Newman, on behalf of the applicant.
Can you just spell your last name?
Leili.
Thank you.
My
Sorry to
apologies.
interrupt.
With this application, we are proposing to install 2 diesel generators on concrete pads, switchgear, which is each mounted on separate concrete pads within the existing paved area of the parking lot. All improvements proposed are located in the rear of the existing Walmart building facing Kent Road. And the applicant previously appeared before the board for the waiver hearing, which resolution was just adopted earlier this evening. And tonight you will hear testimony on behalf of the applicant by our engineer and planner explaining why the application should be approved. And with that being said, I would like to introduce my engineer, Mr. Hidalgo Reyes.
You'll be sworn in, please.
You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
State your name for the record, spell your last.
Name is Eduardo Hidalgo Reyes. Spelling is Hidllgo Reyes.
And Mr. Reyes, can you please give the board the benefit of your educational background?
Sure thing. So I'm a registered professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. My license is in good standing. I have a Bachelor of Electrical Engineering with special focus on power systems and computer science. I've been in the profession for more than 20 years now. From those 20 years, 13 have been here in the U.S. doing this type of projects specifically.
We'll accept your credentials. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reyes, I'd like to get right to the report by the board engineer, which was dated April 30th of 2026. And if we look at, it's on page 5, paragraph 5. Could you give us a general scope of the work that is being proposed?
Sure thing. So these 2 generators are basically used by Walmart just in emergency cases when there is a power outage. And that way they can keep and maintain the power in the store for a certain amount of time. The gear, the switch gear that you see on north in this picture, basically what it does is that it brings the utility and the generator into the same platform, allowing the store for a soft transition into utility, so we don't have to blink the power when the utility supply is there again. So in a nutshell, that's basically the project.
Okay, and as to 5B, can you speak to whether the generators will comply with all applicable noise ordinances?
Correct. We will comply with all the applicable ordinances of the town.
Okay. And as to item C, can you discuss how the generators will be screened?
Correct.
I believe we have an exhibit for that.
Yeah, we
if the
provide
board
an
wants to
exhibit
see.
if you guys want to share on the screen. But we will provide a vinyl fence around the generators. and it will match the color of the building wall for that purpose. And this is the exhibit right here.
And as to item 5D, can you speak to the work, if it will be taking place at or above grade, if there's any underground utility work proposed?
It's going to be majorly done above grade. We will trench just to bring the wires to the generator and from the utility transformer to the switchgear. That's it.
And at this time, does the board have any other questions, or would you like to go through anything else on your report?
Mr. Chairman, I have
Yeah.
just one. We have a couple minor technical comments in item 6 of our review letter. Do you agree to comply?
Correct.
And then, Mr. Chairman, I was going to ask.
Yeah,
your-
so I'm a member of the Environmental Commission, and we see this before it comes to the planning board. Just in I own an environmental firm. I've seen diesel generators. I've had hundreds upon hundreds of emergency calls. In looking at the plan and knowing that there is a capability of a natural gas fire generator, why are you choosing to go diesel when there's a natural gas line right there?
That's a really good question. What happens is diesel is actually more reliable than nat gas because you still have to bring nat gas from the far, right?
I understand that.
You have booster stations, you have piping, nothing like having diesel on site. And if we want to compare a really good case, if you look at any healthcare facility in this country, what it has is a diesel generator instead of nat gas. Why?
Well, I'll disagree with that one right now because I have a client that's running off of natural gas. That's a hospital.
Well, then it might not be the actual generator of life safety that you are looking at. Life safety generation, basically NFPA 110, it requires a pickup time of within 10 seconds. So for that purpose, every single facility in the country that has an emergency generator, NFPA 110 compliance, it would run by diesel.
What's the capacity of the diesel belly tank?
It's 2,000 gallons, basically.
So 2,000 gallons of fuel oil in that tank, or diesel oil?
But it's a UL listed 142, meaning it's a double wall.
Yeah, understood.
And then also on the intake for the refueling portion, we have a bucket that contains any spill within, and it goes back to the tank.
How many KW?
It's going to be a 1250.
1250, two 1250s.
Correct. It's two 625s.
Okay, to make
Total.
1250, gotcha.
Correct.
Which is going to be permitted by the DEP anyway, regardless, for emissions.
Correct.
But again, it's not a hospital. It's a Walmart.
It's not a hospital. I
Right.
say it for the purpose of just saying what's more reliable at that point.
Okay. Any other questions?
Just a real quick question. The exterior fencing, is there going to be access from the exterior for the emergency service to check out?
It will have two means of egress, one on either side, so the maintenance personnel can actually go in there and troubleshoot, or the fire marshal if he needs to.
You will have access from the exterior?
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else? Okay, seeing none, I will open up to the public for any questions, comments, concerns. Seeing none, close public portion. Lisa, any closing comments?
Actually, I wanted to bring up our plan. There was also a planning report. If the board
Yeah.
has any questions for our planner, so I'd like to bring
Well,
up Mr. Nelson.
I guess, the issue is, you're going to bring the planner up to talk about the proofs on the accessory structure location. I mean, your engineer testified to the screening. Christine, do you have any issues? I mean, I defer to the board. You guys know the location.
Yeah. Christine, do you have anything?
I have
Like-
no issues with the
Okay.
screening. I think it would be beneficial to hear the planner's testimony, though.
Yeah? Okay, yeah, we'll hear the planner's testimony.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name for the record, so you'll be last.
That's a bit of a drop. It's Christopher Nusser, N-U-S-S-E-R, with French and Pearl Associates, 700 Grand Avenue, Hackettstown, New Jersey. I'm a licensed professional engineer and planner in the state of New Jersey. Both of those licenses are in good standing. I have appeared before over 80 boards in the state of New Jersey in those capacities, including your Board of Adjustment.
I think we can hear just a quick testimony.
Yeah, approve your credentials, yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it, but I will go through it. And just before I go, to your point about the diesel, I asked the same question when we were going through prep for this. And one of the things that Ed had brought up was that they did this in Lacey Township, and the mayor in Lacey had brought up...
Honestly, keep it to Howell. So if you could just focus on the planning proofs associated with...
Okay, that's fine. So realistically here, the issue is we have 3 frontages. So we have a hardship situation where the generator is located in front of the building. However, the only area that's available that would be that would meet the ordinance to be in a side yard or a rear yard is the loading dock area on the north side of the building. Otherwise, every area is inside of the front yard. And so we do have a hardship situation on the lot. Because of that situation, the location of the electrical room is proximate to where the generator and the electrical facilities are. So the most efficient place to put it is where it is located. The north side of the building is near a daycare facility, so moving it to the proposed location is away from sensitive receptors. This also, I think, advances Purpose A of the municipal land use law, the general welfare. Again, the store stays open when the power goes out. Residents have access to necessary goods. You need ice, you need water because your well doesn't work, food, batteries for a flashlight because you don't have power for an extended period of time. The store remains open and available to the residents. And I think that certainly is a public benefit, which far outweighs any negative impacts of the location of the generator being, again, in front of the building, even though really it's the back side of the building. There is a existing significant buffer along Kent Road between the building and the roadway, and there'll be the addition of the fencing in front of the generators to further provide screening for the generators. As was testified to, it otherwise doesn't result in any negative aspects when it comes to noise or emissions. And so, in my opinion, it meets both the criteria for a C1 or a C2 variance for the location of the generator.
Any comments, Christine?
No, while, it is technically a frontage, it doesn't really act as one, so I think it's, the board knows its location, and it's screened by the fence, I think it's fine.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, thank you. Closing remarks, anything?
No, if there are no further questions, we would submit that the site plan be approved for the reasons testified to today.
At this time, gentlemen, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve with the variance.
Mr. to approve. All right.
I'll second it.
Mr. Mercer for the second.
Mr. Beto?
Abstain.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel?
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Councilman Rebel?
Yes.
Mr. Wetko?
Yes.
Ms. Corr?
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer?
Yes.
Motion carries. Application is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a nice night.
You guys want to take a 5-minute before we move on to the big one? We're going to take a 5-minute recess. I know you're hot and heavy before we get into this case, so we'll take a 5-minute recess, reconvene at 8:05.
I live in Lacey, actually. Yeah, I was there. Yeah. So as soon as he said that, I was like, it was bad. Bad section.
All right, we're good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back on the record. Last application this evening, case number SP 1146, Redevelopment Capital Holdings LLC, The Wheelhouse at Howell. It's for preliminary and final major site plan with ancillary variance and design waiver relief. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Steve Goen, Giordano, Halloran, and Cecil on behalf of the applicant. So as the chairman mentioned, we have Redevelopment Capital Holdings LLC. This project is known as the Wheelhouse at Howell. This project is 208 multifamily units. Of those, 42 are affordable. That's a 20% affordable housing set aside, and this project is included in the township's fourth round housing element fair share plan. So this is one of the projects the town is using to satisfy its affordable housing obligation. So with me tonight, I have Aman Sharifi, who's our engineer from Bowler Engineering, Stuart Johnson, our architect, Amanda Daddario, our planner, John Harder, traffic, and we'll take you through the project. So I'll start with Amin so we can get engineering out of the way.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name for the record, spell your last.
Sure. Name is Amin Sharifi. Last name is spelled Sharifi. And I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering from the New Jersey Institute of Technology. I'm a licensed professional engineer as of 2022, and I'm currently a project manager at Bowler Engineering.
We'll accept your credentials. Thank you.
Thank you. So obviously we're looking at, why don't we tell the board what we're looking at, and we'll label that A25. We're up to A25 on exhibits, and tell us what that is and describe what we're seeing.
Sure, that's an aerial exhibit. Essentially depicts the existing conditions of the property. The outer boundary of the property is highlighted there in bold yellow. As Mr. Goen referenced, the subject site is 2455 Route 9, specifically Block 130, lots 30, 31.01, 38, 39, and 40. The subject property is 8.12 acres. The existing conditions for the property consists of the bike shop with the associated BMX track located at the rear, as well as single-family residential on the plan right of the site. I do want to note that north is oriented on this plan on the left side of the page. So the single-family residential, just to refer back to that, will be on the southern side of the property. The property is bordered to the north by commercial properties with West Farms Road located beyond, to the south by additional commercial properties with White Street located beyond, to the east by Conover Street, and single-family residentials located beyond that, and to the west, Route 9 with additional commercial properties located beyond. The site is situated in the highway development 1 zone along the front half of the property along Route 9. And then on the rear half, the site is situated in the agricultural rural estate 2 zone. However, the entire property is encompassed within the moderate and low-income housing overlay zone, the ML17, where multifamily residential buildings are a permitted use. Currently, site access is via Route 9. There are 2 driveways located along the existing bike shop frontage, one on the northernmost endmost of the property, and one on the southern end. Both of them are right-in, right-out driveways. And then there's also one ingress-egress driveway for the single-family residential property, so totaling three driveways. Under existing conditions, specifically for the bike shop, there are 40 existing parking spaces. And from a just stormwater standpoint, the property generally runs from east to west, or from top of the page south towards Route 9. And there is an existing isolated wetlands located on the easternmost corner of the property. The applicant has obtained a letter of interpretation from the NJDEP. That letter is dated April 14, 2025, where NJDEP did identify that said wetlands does have a 50-feet buffer, and the applicant does not propose to disturb the wetland or disturb within the buffer, so that all remains undisturbed. I would like to move on to next, the colorized site plan, which would be exhibit number
826.
826. It'll probably take a moment to load because it's a rather large file. While it's loading, the date of the exhibit is also July 16th, and similar to the aerial I just presented before, north is oriented to the left of the page. So essentially what you're seeing here is a colorized version of the overall site plan that was submitted as part of the site plan documents. The proposed landscaping has also been overlaid on this to provide a visual of what proposed conditions will look like relative to the existing surrounding conditions. So the applicant is proposing to demolish the existing bike shop and residential home along with its associated parking and utilities to propose a 4-story multifamily residential home, or residential building. The footprint of the building is approximately 61,810 square feet and totals 208 units. As part of the proposed improvements, there are 359 parking spaces proposed for the development. 8 of the spaces are ADA spaces, 2 of which specifically are sized to be appropriate for van. There are also 54 EV spaces proposed. The parking size are 9 by 18, which are compliant with the ML17 overlay zone requirements for parking dimensions. Furthermore, the drive aisle width proposed is 24 feet wide, which is also compliant per their ML17 overlay zone and RSIS for both the parking space size and drive aisle width. There is one loading area proposed at the, I'll just call it rear of the building or the eastern side of the building. From a proposed driveway standpoint, we are closing the 3 driveways and proposing one ingress-egress driveway essentially located at the center of the Route 9 frontage. I do want to note there is an additional emergency access driveway located along the rear that ties into Conover at the rear, but that is strictly for emergency and that is not paved. That are grass pavers at the rear. There's approximately 420 linear feet of sidewalk proposed along the full width of the site's frontage along Route 9. Due to there being no sidewalks existing along Conover, the applicant is not proposing any sidewalk along the Conover portion of the property at the rear. And the applicant has agreed to pay into the Howell Township Sidewalk Trust Fund in the amount specified in the Earthion letter. From a grading and drainage standpoint, the site is designed to mimic existing conditions and drainage patterns, which essentially, like I mentioned earlier, slopes from east to west towards Route 9. The ultimate point of discharge of the stormwater being at an existing inlet along Route 9. From an impervious coverage standpoint, the applicant is proposing to increase impervious coverage by approximately 3.2 acres, and thereby stormwater management is proposed. There are 3 above-ground infiltration bioretention basins proposed, 2 of which are located along Route 9, one on the northern side of the proposed driveway and one on the southern side of the proposed driveway. And then lastly, there's one above-ground detention basin also located at the rear of the property, behind the parking spaces, or the parking area back there. Furthermore, there are 2 underground basins also proposed that are also going to be infiltration. And the primary functions of them are, one is designed to capture the roof runoff of the property essentially, and the other will capture the remaining parking area at the rear. And similarly, all basins are designed to ultimately discharge at the existing inlet along Route 9. And the proposed stormwater does meet the NJDEP stormwater regulations for peak flow reductions, groundwater recharge, and water quality. From a utility standpoint, new utilities will be proposed for the building, which includes a water service that will loop around the proposed building. Similarly, sanitary sewer is also proposed that will connect via an existing, or will connect to the existing main along Route 9. And similarly, with gas, it will tap off the existing main along Route 9. And with electric telephone cable, we utilize the existing utility poles along Route 9. From a site amenities standpoint, there are 2 courtyards proposed within, I'll just call it the outer footprint of the building. The amenity features will include, the details have yet to be designed. They will, next phase post, hopefully approval here, we will get into more detailed design of the amenities, but they do include outdoor pool, outdoor kitchens, dining, and lounge areas. Also, another amenity adjacent to the to the eastern corner of the property, there's a proposed dog run as well, which will consist of synthetic lawn and decomposed granite, which helps provide favorable drainage for the park surface and helps in the prevention of erosion for the dog park. Just for the board's reference, there is a hose bib also proposed within the proposed dog park just for cleaning and washing purposes. Also want to note the dog park will be located at its nearest point, approximately 125 feet away from the property line to the south or plan right. And adjacent to it, there will also be on the outer side a 6 feet high vinyl fence that provides screening, as well as that existing undisturbed area of trees and vegetation that will remain undisturbed. From a lighting standpoint, all proposed light fixtures will be LED, and it includes approximately 38 area lights. I do want to note all of the area lights around the perimeter of the property will have house side shields, so there wouldn't be any spillage of light beyond the property because of the house side shields. There are only 3 area lights without house side shields for the board's reference, and those 3 are located within the rear parking lot at the center of the parking lot, just to illuminate the area around it. We are requesting a design waiver from lighting. The waiver request is for the required maximum average foot candle at grade level. So the maximum requirement is 0.5 foot candle, and the proposed is 1.27 foot candle. And the purpose for this is just to promote safety, to provide the adequate level of light, which we feel is also consistent with the intent of RSIS. From a landscaping and screening standpoint, I'll just touch on the plantings first at a high level. There are approximately 74 canopy trees proposed within the development, 65 evergreen trees, 29 ornamental trees, 874 shrubs. The applicant does provide a 6-feet-high landscape berm along the eastern or top side of the plan and along the southern or right side of the plan to provide screening of the proposed development for the adjacent residential properties. And the landscape berm will also be planted with the vegetation that I described. Furthermore, there's also a proposed 6-feet-high vinyl fence that will be located around the perimeter of the property. To note, that would be the requested variance, the height of the fence at 6 feet high. The requirement of the township is 10 feet high. However, based on coordination with the township planner at an earlier meeting, the request was to make the height 6 feet, so we accommodated, made it 6 feet, but thereby would request that variance for that. From a signage standpoint, there is one facade sign proposed on the building and one monument sign proposed along the property's frontage along Route 9. The monument sign will be set back 20 feet from the property line, and both signs are fully compliant with the municipal code. Just to give a little bit of a high-level summary of where the applicant is at in terms of overall permits, I did mention NJDEP. We received a letter of interpretation regarding the wetlands. No further permitting is required from NJDEP because we are not disturbing the wetlands, nor are we disturbing the buffer area. We did receive Monmouth County Planning Board approval on April 13, 2026. We also received Soil Conservation District certification on April 7, 2026. We received a comment letter from NJDOT on June 24th of this year, 2026, and we'll be looking to revise the plans shortly after this board hearing to get approval from NJDOT as well. Lastly, I wanted to mention we have met with the Howell Township Environmental Commission as well previously, and are looking to set up a meeting with the Township Bureau of Fire Prevention as well to help, get every comment, to help address any comments that are out there, any outstanding comments. Unless there are any other questions, that is the end of my testimony.
What's the gross square footage of the building?
Sure. The gross square footage would be approximately 240,240 square feet. 247,240 square feet.
Got it. And topography goes, I'm assuming, from east to west towards Route 9, so your stormwater drains towards Route 9?
Correct.
Okay.
I do want to note that the runoff is not directly onto Route 9 like it is under existing conditions. Everything will be captured via inlets and either infiltrated, and anything beyond what the stormwater that gets infiltrated gets discharged in a controlled manner along Route 9.
Is this part of a homeowners association? Will this be part of a homeowners association?
Well, this is going to be apartments, so there'll be a management.
Management,
Yeah.
and they'll be in charge of the basin maintenance and, okay.
What's the average square footage of each dwelling?
I think the project architect will be coming up, so they could address.
Okay.
So it's all for rent, there's no for sale units in there?
Correct.
Was a construction cost developed for the project, and if so, do you know roundabout what the utility improvements are going to run? Water surface loop around the building, electrical, gas, sewer, service lines to Route 9?
As
Or are
of
we not
right
at that
now, I do
stage?
not believe there were construction costs that I'm aware of prepared for this.
Okay.
And you haven't met with the Fire Bureau yet for access and egress?
So we have tried to make contact with them. I've reached out multiple times. I will continue to do so, ultimately to meet with them and hear any feedback, comments to address as part of final approval.
And the,
Stop you there, because you're here seeking final approval, so are you amending to only seek preliminary?
I meant resolution compliance. As part of resolution compliance, we'll look to meet with the Fire Bureau.
because looking at that entrance with the cul-de-sac, that, I mean, it's not, drawn to scale, whatever, but that might be problematic for emergency vehicles.
I'll be honest, we're not going to give final approval on this until we hear from the Fire Bureau and get the fire department to sign off on this. Any other questions?
Just to throw this out there, where is your trash area?
So trash will be located internal to the building.
Okay.
The project architect will provide further information on the function and operations of that, but all trash will be collected internal to the building.
The compactor, I'm sure.
Correct.
Is this a sprinklered building?
That's a project architect question.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Fire Bureau.
Mr. Chair, I just have a few questions
of
as
course.
well. Is the plan to consolidate all of the lots with this application?
You want to take that?
Sure, yes. The plan is to consolidate the lots.
Are you going to designate parking spaces between residents and visitors, or it will just be?
So the plan right now is not to, it's just to leave it open. And, people can park where they will. If you had a preference either way, we would
I would
do it
prefer
either
it just
way.
be open.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
And what about signage? Are you the witness that's going to talk about signage?
Which type? Like
You have a
wayfinding
facade
signs
and a
or-
monument sign, I just,
Stuart will talk about that, right? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what was the question specifically? Sorry.
Talking about them, I think you gave some testimony that they'll be informed.
Correct, yeah. There's any further detail the project architect can provide, but I could testify to there will be one facade sign and one monument sign, both of which from an area setback height standpoint will be compliant with the ordinance.
and the site amenities are restricted to the residents of the building and their guests only?
Correct.
Correct.
And then we have a technical review letter. Do you agree to comply with those comments in their entirety?
Yes, we agree, and we are actively, have been working with the board professionals on addressing them.
I don't have anything further for this witness.
Anybody else? Yeah, I'll,
Public at the end, or?
yeah, I'd like to kind of do it one by one while the
Fine.
engineer's here, just in case.
Sure.
If anybody just has questions, it's not testimony, it's just questions for the engineer, please feel free to come up. Okay, we have one question.
There's a lot of questions.
Yep.
You can sit down.
Good evening. Could you please state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Nick D'Amico, 424 Conover Street. I'm the house immediately behind this monstrosity.
Okay.
No disrespect intended.
So this is just questions for the engineer?
I understand.
Yep.
Why are you going for a 6-foot fence variance instead of the 10-foot fence that was on the plan that was distributed and shown to us?
That's direct feedback that we received from the township planner.
That didn't answer my question. The township planner and the township engineers that I met with said it's a 10-foot fence. And now you're saying it's a 6-foot fence. Pardon me? 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, we met with the engineer and he showed us this 10-foot fence. Now, I live right there. Everything you do is going to affect me.
Can I just have a question about that. Your name's Nick?
Nick, yes, please.
Great name. So it's, the 6-foot fence is on top of a 6-foot berm?
Behind it.
It's behind it or on top of it?
It's behind it.
It's behind it, so the 6-foot, okay.
What was the basis for our planner waiving the 6 foot, or waiving the 10 foot for the 6 foot?
Money, I'm sure. It's cheaper,
No,
right?
no, that's
No,
not.
it has to
put you
do
on
with,
the- I
I
was just
can
curious
answer the
where it
question
came
from
from,
my
yeah.
planning, from my perspective as a planner.
Yeah,
A
please.
10-foot fence in a residential area is not typical.
Okay.
So,
Wait,
Sorry, you got, please.
Yeah, and
So, if-
this is a 4-story building we're going to be looking at, no, like it or not.
okay, I'm going to just address the board. I'm not the board's planner, I'm just answering from perspective. We have requirements that would allow for a 10-foot combination if you look at our berm and fencing requirements. So the board may wish to consider something like that as opposed to a 10-foot fence where the fence would be atop of the berm so that there would be a 10-foot screen. I think as the resident indicated, it's the berm and then the fence. But speaking from, I mean, a 10-foot fence is just, it's not typical next to a residential area.
I would and I'm just asking the applicant, and Nick, you as a resident here, that may be impacted by this project, putting the 6-foot fence on top of the berm, so in essence, you have a 12-foot, right? You would have a 12-foot buffer.
And what's beyond the berm, isn't that where your water retention space is?
No,
Where is that, please?
that's in front of the berm,
Okay.
on the property side.
What is that black spot? The black spot on the drawing there, to the south?
That's,
Yeah,
that's a limit of the existing wetland buffer, so it's
That's
just
it, okay.
undisturbed area.
That's just, okay, an undisturbed line. That wasn't made clear before. Can you point out, I'm sorry, is that, I can't answer that, point out where the water retention?
You can ask any questions you'd like.
Yeah, so you see the rear parking area behind the building?
Yes,
Immediately beyond that
yep.
is the retention basin.
Okay, you see that house immediately beyond that black line? That's my house. I live right there. So like I said, everything that's done is going to directly, I'm the last house on Conover, right there.
So which is why we provided the
10-foot fence would be more desirable. Just to keep, I don't want to see what you're doing. I don't really want to see it.
yeah, ultimately,
Technically, it's possible that we could do it either on top of the berm or we could do it.
If we did the 6 foot
Excuse
on
me.
top of the berm, which would
The
essentially
6
be
foot on
higher,
top
would
of
that
the
be
berm would give you
more?
12 feet.
Yeah.
That's more than your 10-foot fence. That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
sir, if I can, your biggest concern with that
No,
is, I'm asking, between the 6 foot and the 10-foot fence.
well,
I mean,
Well,
on
I came
top
here
of
to look
a,
at it, and they showed us the drawings and everything, vinyl fence to block all the light because of the street lights, not the traffic lights, but the street lighting, the parking lot lighting, the building lighting, seeing people on the 4th floor looking out and seeing, oh, there's Nick's house right there. Oh, I'm looking in the 4th floor. And we're just trying to keep it as residential and as nice as it has been over the past almost 20 years that I've been there, and not look at, and I called them monstrosity, please don't take offense. It's a 4-story building that I really want to see.
How far, just a question for the engineer, just so you could, just for some clarity, how far is the building from your rear property line?
80 feet maybe?
no, it's approximately 241 feet.
It's got to go towards the front with all that parking?
From the building to the property line.
Okay, oh.
not
What's the
parking.
height of the building?
The property line.
4 stories,
Yeah.
40, probably 40 feet.
The building height is approximately
42?
47.8 feet.
Did you do line of sight from Conover, just from ground level, to see what just a present-day visual would be of a 4-story building?
We have not, but, so I do want to note, though, the applicant has engaged the township for feedback, has, to the furthest extent, based on the feedback, provided the buffer as part of the township requirements to help with the, potential residential concerns of
You guys want to pay my
that.
taxes, and I'll stop objecting.
All right.
I'll start paying my taxes.
Yep. Nick, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, the emergency exit. I asked to see a plan of the gate. As we know, the only way to get to Route 9 South is to use that emergency exit, again, I'm saying, and go through Conover to White to Route 9 and you save traffic, you save time, you save a lot. So if I was a resident living there and I had to go to Route 9 South to go towards shopping centers or Lakewood or something like that, I'd be using that, because I'll save a lot of time on morning traffic trying to get out onto Route 9 North, make the jug handle in front of the Home Depot, turn around and come back down to get to Route 9 South.
So you're just looking for the type of
I asked
fencing?
for a drawing and they couldn't give it to me. And I met with the engineer.
Do you have any
page by page,
information on the type of,
No, typically, emergency access like this are not paved, are not necessarily visible or known, visibly obvious as driveways or areas for vehicles to,
is there some type of locking gate?
and
There's
there is
also going to
a,
be a gate, right?
yeah, and there is.
Okay.
It's going to be used by emergency personnel only.
Correct.
Got it.
You can say that here in this room.
It's going to be locked. There's going to be
So as part of the, if this application gets approved, whatever is stated on the record has to happen. It's not like they can't just say it and not happen.
It would be locked, and there's a key, it's a Knox box that only the emergency personnel can use to open it. It's for them to use, not for residents to use. We don't, believe me, we don't want traffic coming through the site.
Oh, neither do we.
Understood. By the way, did we resolve the fence berm? I mean, we're happy to basically do it either way. So if the board would prefer that we do the 10-foot.
I would take it into consideration, the 6-foot fence on top of the berm, which gives 12 foot, which is higher than 10 feet. I think that's
Yeah.
simple math. That would make sense.
Is that fine? Can we do
Yeah,
that?
no problem.
Yeah, so we can do that.
And I just want to note for purposes of the record, while the gate may not have had a detail, and I don't know who the gentleman met with, but the gate is shown on the plan. It is shown to have
Yeah,
a
but
gate.
There was no detail of the gate or the locking mechanism. I've worked for the state DEP for 53 years. I've gone through so many construction management projects. I'm not asking for, on top of my head.
Typically, I'm not, sir, I'm not suggesting that. These are typically a Knox box locked gate.
Right.
They can only be opened by a siren or by
Okay.
emergency
Are you
personnel with a
saying-
gate.
Are you familiar with the Verdana property and the emergency access gate that's there?
Am I familiar
Well,
with their
I mean,
gate?
And if you tell me that there's no use of that, and not vehicular, but use by 100 people a day going up and down the street.
That's a code enforcement issue.
Well, I'm not a code enforcer. I'm
Understood.
a resident.
Understood.
Okay, one other question besides that, the lockbox. Conover Street is not quite 2 lanes wide. Is there any plan to use Conover Street for access for construction or access during construction?
No,
None? Can you guarantee it?
we're going to use Route 9.
Okay. If I was driving a dump truck and coming in the other way, I...
Again, we're on the record, so
Right,
we're
yep.
going to use Route 9.
100%.
I mean, I've got a whole list of questions, but I'll come back when you're ready to open for comment.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
I
Nick.
appreciate your time.
Appreciate you. Any other questions?
I will.
Hello, sir. Could you please state your name for the record?
Mark with a K, DeSantis, 416 Conover Street.
Hi, Mark with a K. How are you?
Good. Hey, listen, Conover Street has no sidewalks, no streetlights, no water, no sewer, no sanitation, no fire department, I never had kids go to school.
Do you have a question for the engineer?
So how come we're going to be put in the dark ages, a 4-story building, where the sun sets from our houses, we're going to be in the dark? And we have no streetlights as it is, it's dark. I mean, I don't understand. There's a problem with water. Everything slopes from the back.
This is, questions for him. This is all this is about. You'll have plenty of time for testimony, plenty of time for, absolutely.
This is like,
No,
it's not
you're-
going to be in the middle of the
No,
night.
you're here right now. You're going to have plenty of time to speak whatever you want to speak about. This is just for questions for the engineer. Any engineering-related questions about this project?
The whole, from Pinnacle in the back, the sand pit, which is now part of the Monmouth County Park System, everything slopes this way. So we have a problem, all the houses along Conover Street with the water. We all have backyards that if you put grass down, forget about it, 2 years, it's gone.
What question do you have for the engineer?
What's going to happen to us as far as, if you have a berm, that water's not leaving our street?
I was on the record before, sir, that I specifically asked the topography of this project, right? And he said on the record that it slopes from west to east towards Route 9. okay? And the DEP has certain stormwater management guidelines that they have to apply.
It's the other way, from east to west. That's what
You're telling me that
downhill.
this project, he was on the record stating it's going to go from,
Yeah, but it's our water that comes from, you know where Pinnacle used to be?
but that has nothing to do with this
Well,
project.
sure it does. The water running down, if he puts a berm up, where is the water that comes down from us? It's gonna be stuck on our street. Because now,
So you're saying an off-site property has nothing,
My property.
sir, listen to me. You're saying an off-site property, the stormwater now is affecting your property, and by this project putting up a berm, where is that water gonna go? That is your question now.
exactly.
Okay.
It affects my property because it runs downhill, it goes across the street. What it does now, it pools, it goes behind the other side of the house, it floods down behind Wawa, and then it goes underground to that spring behind this, what do you call it, the nursing home across 9. So now, you put a berm or something up on that side of the street, where does all that water go? I mean, it's like, that's what you're doing, you're stopping the water from leaving.
So, just a couple things. The state requires us to evaluate stormwater for the runoff that's generated by our property, and we're required to reduce that by certain
Yeah,
percentages.
but the thing is, you're only worrying about your property.
You gotta let him finish.
Yeah, so now, to your next point, the berm is only within the limits of the disturbed area of the property. There's the southern end of the eastern rear that's completely undisturbed, so the runoff will continue on similar to existing conditions into the wetlands area. That area is wetlands because it's a local low point within
Yeah,
the.
it goes across.
Correct,
Yeah,
it's gonna keep that pattern. So will it hit the berm potentially, but it would continue on into the wetlands, because ultimately that is the local low of the overall property, which is why it's the
My
wetlands.
house and stuff might be able to get away with it, but the houses deeper than me, Mr. D'Amico's house and the people next, they're not gonna be helped by that. It's gonna be them flooding down at the end of the street.
Let me ask something real quick. Laura, we had this issue in Ramtown, right, with that berm situation where the presentation came, and it was very similar to what you're discussing right now, where off-site residential properties that were abutting a proposed development were impacted by existing stormwater, right? And the proposed development said, we want to put a berm in, and we're, like you just said, well, where's that stormwater go if it hits the berm, right? And he explained. Does this necessitate potentially a Ramtown type thing where you guys go out and just take a look at this situation with the berm and stormwater and all that stuff?
So I'm just going to point this exhibit on the board. So this is the area of the berm.
Correct.
The balance remains undisturbed and flows as it naturally does. This is higher, you can see the contours come in.
Yep.
So the backside of the berm is limited to this distance. So in that distance, yes, it would come off, it would enter the street, and it would go down the street, based upon the topography we have here. So they can look at doing something to mitigate on their side, this, what I'll call this line of the berm, to collect that water and route it back in.
So Laura, are we looking at, so I'm assuming it's 27, 28, 29? Is lot 29 the one on the very left?
Yeah, so this is Conover Street?
Yeah. So it basically impacts 3 lots, 27, 28. I'm assuming that's 29 right there? Is that 20? Yeah.
Correct.
So, and that's 3 residential lots, I'm assuming?
Yeah, well, in theory, it would go into Conover and go down Conover, but without curbing or anything.
Right,
You know,
right,
it's-
right.
It's tough to say. So what I would recommend they do is develop a drainage system to the backside of that berm.
Is that something that you guys would?
Wait,
No, Mark.
I would trench drain it probably.
Is that something that the applicant would take into consideration?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we already talked about preliminary site plan approval, so that's something we would agree to as a condition of preliminary, and then we could look at that.
Okay.
Come back to final, in addition to what other conditions we're gonna have.
I guess my one question, just to understand the board's preface on that, is you collect it, where does that ultimately go?
You have to connect it back. What you're forgetting is and this is what the board dealt with, When you design a berm, water's not going to turn 90 degrees. It's going to come down off the slope, and then it's going to sit or mitigate till it gets high enough to go with pitch. So what we're asking for, what I think would be appropriate, is like a trench drain that you're going to have to connect into your stormwater system.
Well, also,
Just to collect the side of your berm that's sloping down.
Because Conover Street, when you go out to White Street, it comes up. White Street's the high point. Conover Street comes down. So that water's not running out of Conover Street down to White Street. It's going to just sit in front of the last few houses, 28, and then the people on the other side of the street who we can't see unless you moved everything over to the left. I mean, they already have flooding problems.
Just questions, Mark. So that was your question.
Okay.
Do you have any, and
Yeah,
hopefully we rectified.
I'm going to wait until we come back.
Yeah, so this is just for the engineer, and again, you'll have all
Okay,
evening
good,
if you'd
good.
like.
All right.
So I appreciate it, Mark. Thank you for your time. Anybody else, questions for the engineer only? I think my microphone's fried. Sorry. Hot mic. Seeing none. All right, Steve, sorry.
All right, so let's go to Stuart Johnson, our architect.
Stuart, good evening. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your name for the record, spell your last.
Sure. Stuart Johnson, last name Johnson, Johnsson, principal, is that good? Should I do credentials or?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, I couldn't see. Principal at Minnewaska Architects and Planners. I am a registered architect with a current New Jersey license. I've appeared and qualified before this board as well as over.
We'll accept your credentials. Thanks, Stuart.
Great, thanks.
All right, Stuart, let's talk about this, this drawing that we got in front of us. First, we should mark this. We're up to 827, I believe.
Yeah, we could, I'm not going to begin with this, but we could mark this if you want.
Yeah, let's just mark
Okay.
this, just so you can get, at least tell them what we're looking at so they can get a sense
Sure.
of the overall building here.
Sure. So Exhibit 827, this is a perspective view looking north. We can see the four-story proposed multifamily apartment building. As previously shared by the project engineer, the project, the bulk, the height of the building, the footprint of the building, the setback of the building, the density of the building is fully conforming with the zoning that was created for the property. But again, we're seeing an attractively designed four-story apartment building that has depth to the facade, varying architectural materials consisting of stone veneer that we're using on the first, second, and partially third floor of the building, a variety of fiber cement panels, so really creating an attractive new multifamily community here.
Do all the tenants drive Audis and BMWs at this place? Is that kind of the proposed?
Some of them do, architects often don't, but
Make sure
you know,
they
residents here may.
Make sure they take note of those decorative bollards by the
Sure,
parking
well,
place.
so this exhibit was a new exhibit that we brought tonight. We also have several other illustrative perspective views that best describe the architecture as opposed to the 2D flat static elevations. There was a comment in the engineering review letter and concern about vehicular safety around the building. So this is a four-story apartment building, 100% surface parked. Plenty of examples of surface parked apartment buildings, commercial buildings, institutional buildings throughout this town, surrounding towns. We have a 6-inch curb all the way around the building. And where we bring parking next to the building, like at the front entrance where we have a motor court and a drop-off, or the loading zone adjacent to the building, we had proposed to provide bollards there for pedestrian safety. We were asked to consider additional pedestrian safety measures, and the applicant is agreeing to provide bollards. So we'll have bollards, again, this is sort of illustratively shown, but they'll be dark, sort of a dark black color to sort of fade with the building. But we'll have bollards all the way around the building on all four sides in front of the parking spaces as a pedestrian safety measure to respond to the comment that we received by the board engineer.
And just to confirm, the bollards will look similar to this, or do you have a detail?
The bollards will look similar to this. We can provide a detail associated with resolution compliance, but the bollards are approximately 42 inches in height. They're going to be installed adjacent to the curb. Parking spaces are 9 feet by 18, so if the intent is to provide an additional measure of protection other than that raised curb, right, we'll see bollards essentially spaced 10 feet on center, if you will, right, all the way around the building. But yeah, it will resemble this. It will be a dark black charcoal, kind of a matte color. Again, the bollard will be out of the 9 by 18 parking space, and we'll provide a detail of how we're mounting it and you know, how we're anchoring it.
Will there be lighting on the bollards?
Some of the bollards may provide lighting. The intention of the bollards is not to provide minimum foot candle lighting. We're relying upon testimony that the engineer just gave and the lighting plan that we give. We meet the minimum foot candle levels for pedestrian safety throughout the parking lot and the walking surfaces. Some of the bollards adjacent to the residential lobby or the entrances may have low shielded LED lights to provide ambient light to, you know, identify the walkway. But no, we're not trying to illuminate 360 degrees around the building. That's not the intent of the bollard.
This is all a residential property, right? You're not going to have any
Yeah, correct.
mixed use or cafes or anything like that?
It's a private residential property,
Okay.
full-time residents and/or their guests, but.
Got it.
Well, so you can talk about this, and maybe we can go to the floor plans too, if that's where you want to go next.
Yes, that's where I wanted to start. So this is a multi-page PDF. It's 12 pages. We've colorized the building plans, so it's the same building plans and elevations that we submitted, simply added color for ease of reading the document. Now, we did include 4 new perspective renderings within this exhibit, so maybe we want to mark this as
Yeah, so why don't we,
12-page exhibit.
so we'll mark this as A28, 12-page architectural exhibit.
Right, we're going to start with the ground floor plan of the building, but it's 12 pages. And again, colorized building plans, elevations, and 4 perspective renderings. So maybe we can start with the ground floor plan. So pleased to be here this evening and share the design of the building. Maybe we can start just zoom out and do an overall, and then I appreciate you zooming in or sort of annotating and working with me. But yep. So the building is, I guess that's a backwards 9 shape, right? But it's a 4-story apartment building. We have 2 open-air courtyards that sit on grade and provide for passive and active recreational amenities for residents of this community. This is a new lifestyle residential community. As shared, we have 208 residential apartment units, 42 of which are affordable housing units, so that's 20%. The affordable housing units conform with UHAC requirements in regards to the unit mix that we have to have, 1 or studio, 2 and/or 3-bedroom units, as well as the income threshold that is outlined, very low, low, and moderate income, as outlined by UHAC. The affordable housing units are designed in an inclusionary manner. That means that they're spread throughout the building, side-by-side entrances, walking or driving around the building or internal to the building. You can't differentiate where the units are located. They generally stack for efficiency. They have access to the same amenities in the building. They're paying no additional charge for those amenities, and they also have access to parking on site. And again, the affordable units do not have any additional charge for parking on site, right? That's all included as part of their rent. The overall unit mix breakdown that we have for the project, we have 4 studio units, all of which are market rate. We have 94 1-bedroom units, 90 of which are market rate and 4 are affordable. And we have 101 2-bedroom apartment units, 76 of which are market rate and 25 of which are affordable. And then we have 9 3-bedroom affordable units. And one correction there was the 4 studio units are actually affordable units. So just to correct my testimony, I said they were market rate. The 4 studio units are efficiency units and affordable units. So if I can orient you about the plan, the main residential lobby is at the bottom of the image here. I don't have a pointer to point to the screen. The primary circulation space is colored in yellow. The lobby, at the lobby, we have a motor court and drop-off area. We have a truck turning template that our engineer generated, which shows emergency vehicles such as fire apparatus being able to maneuver 360 degrees all the way around the site, including that rear emergency access. While we didn't receive a fire review memo, again, we've designed the project that it allows for truck maneuvering and turning for emergency vehicles, as well as short-term delivery vehicles, FedEx, Uber, Lyft, those types of spaces. So we've smartly planned for that drop-off function to occur at the main residential lobby. We'll have on-site management and leasing here during business hours. They help with those services. And again, smartly being planned for as opposed to not designing a space for that function to occur. Immediately upon entering into the building, the areas colored in pink are the primary residential amenity areas. So to the right of the lobby, we have mail and package. To the left, we have the on-site leasing and management with eyes right on the front of the site and the entrance. We have a state-of-the-art club room and co-working space for residents to congregate and gather. Sort of an internal dining area for private events for residents, and a state-of-the-art fitness area with cardio, weights, yoga, et cetera, and then direct access out to these outdoor courtyards, outdoor dining, and other sort of passive amenity spaces. There was a question, and I think the engineer answered, but all of the amenities are for residents only. They're secure access, so we have fence and gates, so members of the public can't just walk into that courtyard where we have the pool or barbecue grills and dining areas. Again, that's key fob gated. The building is a secure building. Why we have multiple entry points at the ground floor for residents, because we have surface parking designed around the building. Again, secure key fob access, and we have knockbox access for first responders, firemen, police, et cetera. Again, the building floor plates generally stack for efficiency. It was noted by the engineer, but trash and recycling is all handled internal to the building. So we have a dedicated trash chute and recycling chute. They terminate on the ground floor of the building. We've designed that refuse termination room adequately for a trash compactor and several additional 2 cubic yard rolling containers. Trash and recycling will be managed and contracted with a private hauler, typically 2 times a week, Tuesday mornings or Friday mornings. They would occur within the hours that the municipality and the borough, that the township allows. The township has ordinance as to when those types of operations can occur. That's a scheduled pickup, so it's the same time for 20 minutes on Tuesday morning or Friday morning. Building management is on site when that's occurring. So they're wheeling 2 cubic yard containers out to the curb. They're being picked up. The truck moves on their way. They roll the containers back in. They wash down the area, and they keep it clean, right? So that's how typically fully managed multifamily residential building operates. Similarly, we have a dedicated loading area at the rear of the site. When we talk about loading with private residential apartment buildings, we're really talking about move-in, right? So other than the initial lease up in the building, move-ins and move-outs are not occurring all the time. Again, that's a scheduled event. There's only one move-in or move-out occurring at one given time, mostly to not create interference in the building with elevators, et cetera. Move-ins are only occurring with max size 28 or 30-foot U-Haul size vehicle, so an SU-30 size vehicle. Again, that's in the lease. Building management is on site when people are moving. No one's moving into the site with a Mayflower tractor trailer mover. They're going to be turned away. All the other, the other mechanical equipment are kind of colored in gray here, but stored internal to the building. It was also noted that we have a dog run on site, which is a nice amenity. It also gives a place for, being a pet-friendly building for residents and pets to go to. If we could advance to the next slide, we can go through these quickly, but we move to the upper floors of the building. So here, obviously, this is our first full level of residential. One point to note is we do have a double height lobby space, which really creates a sense of arrival and place for this new community. We can move to the next slide. We move to the typical third floor plan, and we can move to the next slide here. We'll move to the typical fourth floor plan. Again, largely the same unit stack for structural and mechanical efficiency. Only variation is where the affordable unit mix may change on a given floor just because of the required unit mix by UHAC. Then lastly, we move to the next slide here. We move to the roof plan. So it is a flat roof building. All the apartment units will be heated and cooled through split systems, meaning that condensing units will be located on the roof. So those condensing units are about 42 inches in height, like what you would see in a single-family home. They're set back approximately 20 feet or greater from the roof edge. Again, being 42 inches in height, they would not be visible walking or driving around the site. We have a couple package units which heat and cool the common corridors and amenity areas of the building. They're a little bit taller, but they're located internal to the roof. And again, walking or driving around the site, you would not see them because they're set back greater than 30 feet from the roof edge. We have access to the roof via roof hatch access and the egress stairs. And we have an elevator bulkhead, which is approximately 5 feet higher than the roof. The overall building height for the project is 50.5 feet, and that's measured from the average finished grade. There's a definition of building height that the township has, and we measure building height from an average grade. We offset the building footprint approximately 5 feet. We take an average, a calculation that was submitted, and to the highest point of the flat roof, to the highest point of the flat roof, we're 47.8 feet. However, this not being for non-residential, well, I'm sorry, for non-commercial projects, our understanding is that the parapets on the building and those appurtenances on the roof are not exempt from building height. So the overall building height then, when we add those, is approximately 50.5 feet, which we stated. 55 feet is permitted in the zone. So just to clarify, we're permitted to build the 55 feet. That's what the zoning allows. And the proposed height of the building is less than what the permitted zoning allows for. If we move to the next slide then. We'll spend a little bit of time talking about the exterior architecture of the building. So this is the first perspective view that we wanted to share. This is a view looking east from the site entrance off of the northbound lane of Route 9. So we have a boulevard entry into the site. We have that biodetention basin on the left and right-hand side of that entrance. We are proposing a mix of landscaping and planting within the biodetention basin that's shown on the landscape plan of Bowler Engineering's submission. We can see the main entrance here. Again, I noted that the main entrance is 2 stories in height. Provides for a grand and welcoming sense of arrival, right? We have that roundabout and motor court at the main section of the site so that short-term delivery or visitors can conveniently drop off along the front of the building, not block travel, and make their way back out to Route 9. Because again, the Route 9 access is the only vehicular access to the site other than first responder access. So again, attractive new facade here, well-balanced in creating a base, middle, and top reading. It was important to create a varied cornice line, which I think we've achieved here. We have a few different vertical fiber cement panels that we're using on the upper floors of the building to create architectural variety and interest. And then that stone veneer that I had mentioned at the first few floors of the building. If we advance, well, before we advance, so one of the signs, so we have 2 signs we're proposing. One of the signs we're proposing we can see here in the rendering. These are dimensional channel cut letters. They're approximately 14 inches in height. They're aluminum channel cut letters. They're extruded 1 inch with a white acrylic, and they're side lit, which means that there's an LED behind the letter, and there's a soft illumination coming out the side of the letter. Again, very typical for a building and tastefully designed. If we advance to the next slide, we saw this image previously. This was prior to adding the bollards for illustrative purposes. But again, a view looking north here. We can see the main lobby on the left-hand portion of the building. To the right, we can see where the building opens up into that U-shaped courtyard on grade. And again, the convenient surface parking located around the building.
Do you have a the monument sign?
We do, so that's the last page of the set. Next slide. So the next slide here, this is a view looking northwest. We've picked the camera angle up, so keep in mind the camera is up in the air here. We're almost eye level with the second floor of the apartment building. But we wanted to show that open air amenity courtyard that we have, so gets nice light and air. We do have a pool that will be open seasonally from May from Memorial Day to Labor Day. There has to be a lifeguard on duty. We have a 4-foot fence around that pool, and a lifeguard on duty when it's in operation, and then some outdoor dining areas and passive recreational amenity space just beyond. We can see, again, one point to note here is the same building materials you saw on the front side. We're treating all 4 sides here as primary building elevations. And we have one more view to share. This is within the enclosed courtyard, right? The smaller enclosed courtyard, we just wanted to show some of the passive amenity spaces, but also, again, how we're bringing some of those materials into the center portion of the building, right? Really creating an attractive and welcoming new lifestyle residential community. And again, some passive recreation space here, a putting green, some outdoor dining areas with direct access back into the building to the club room and the other central gathering spaces. Next slide. So the top image here, we can zoom in on the top image, drawing number 1, signage. So on the right side, right, so those are the dimensional channel cut letters that I noted. They're approximately 14 inches in height. The overall length of that is about a little over 14 feet. So the sign area, if we take the overall sign area, that's about 17 square feet. Again, that's not including the void or negative area between the letters, but being conservative. Again, a tastefully designed sign, in my opinion, that provides for wayfinding and branding of the building. And then if we move to the next page, I believe on the top right there, we have a detail of the monument sign. And the monument sign, we can zoom in on that. That would be great. It's about 6 feet in length. The sign area itself is about 3 feet in height, so 36 inches. So 6 times 3 is 18 square feet, right, of overall sort of sign. And then that's elevated about 12 inches there with that low stone wall. Again, I think it's tastefully designed. We're using the same materials of the building. That's a 2-sided sign that would be adjacent to the entry drive into the site, so it'd be visible from Route 9. Obviously, predominantly from the northbound lane, but you know, tastefully makes sense to make that a 2-sided sign. But this would provide branding and wayfinding signage typical to other monument or wayfinding signs that you might see along that corridor. Doesn't impact sight lines. And again, you know, we think nicely done. I think that largely concludes my testimony. I'm just checking my notes here. It does. So that was a lot of information, but you know, with that, I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have, or Steve, if feel free to.
No, it was
point
good
to
for me, Stuart, so
Okay.
we'll turn it over to the board and its professionals.
Great.
Anybody with questions?
So what's the distance between, for egress purposes, from the center of the building to the nearest egress stair?
I don't know specifically, but it conforms with Chapter 11 accessibility in the International Building Code. I mean, if we go to a typical residential floor plan, right, I mean, we can stop on any floor plan, but we're showing 2 egress stairs for the, I'm sorry, we have 3 egress stairs in the building. Maybe we can zoom out and show the whole overall. So we have 1 egress stair in the bottom right-hand corner of the building. We have 1 egress stair in the middle of the building on the left side, right, on the west side of the building. 1 egress stair in the top right. I would envision that we would have a firewall in this building, given the fire area. So as you can see, we don't have any dead-end corridors, right? The stairs are within 50 feet of the dead end. And the overall length is, the building is, it's about 300 feet in length there. So, you know, the distance, the furthest distance is less than 150 feet. from any given point within, internal to an egress there.
And for the whole building, it's going to have, so it's from the main floor, it has 2 elevators that's near the lobby, but then on the upper floors only has from 2 to 1. And then you have one going to the nearest egress to the rear, which is 1. So there's going to be 2 elevators for
Yeah,
300.
Great question. So, there's an elevator missing here on this plan, in AutoCAD, we use blocks, and the block is probably on a no-print layer, but if you go to the ground floor plan, we're anticipating 3 elevators for the building, right? So we show 2 elevators adjacent to the main lobby and 1 elevator in the back right. All 3 would be accessible and used by residents. When we design a surface park building, it's important to spread out the elevators, spread out the egress stairs. We encourage people to use stairs. Many people want to, and again, that's smart design principles. So we have access to the building, secure key fob access on all sides. The back right elevator will be oversized. That's the elevator that will lock out during residential move-ins, during off hours, mid-morning or early afternoon for residents. So 3 elevators for the building. One question comes back to me that the prior witness received, but someone asked whether the building would be sprinklered. Yes, the building is fully sprinklered. It'll be NFPA 13, which is above and beyond what's required by the building code. The building as designed fully complies, will fully comply with the International Building Code as well as any local codes here in Howell, including the NFP codes, or NFPA codes for fire protection.
And my other question will be about the rooftop units. So we're saying that from the average grade, it's going to be 50.5 feet high? And that's just for the wall itself. So the equipment on top is not going to be screened, or are they going to be screened by the parapet?
Yeah, so the roof, the roof deck is approximately 47.8 feet, right? So I'm just going to round up and call it 48 feet, or we could round down and call it 47 feet, right, for rough numbers. The parapets vary in height from approximately 24 inches to 30 inches around the building, right? The condensing units generally sit along the corridor, so the units are about 30 feet deep, right? The floor plate of the buildings is 67 to 68 feet deep. So we have a 30-foot deep residential apartment unit, we have a 6-foot wide corridor, and then another 30-foot unit. So the condensing units generally sit along the corridor, right? So what we're saying is that those condensing units are set 25 to 30 feet back from the parapet. So if I hold an object here that's 42 inches in height, and it's set back 25 to 30 feet from this edge, again, walking and driving around the building, you wouldn't perceive them. We could certainly screen them. In my experience, sometimes when you provide screening continuously around it, you're calling more attention or greater attention to those units. The screening does. So
I just wanted to make it for the record that there's not going to be any the parapet's not going to be protected by anything, that the equipment's going to be in the center, and while you're driving, no one's going to see at 50 feet high.
Immediately adjacent to the site. Now,
Yes.
certainly certain sight lines, way down the road, if someone clears trees on an adjacent site, that's a much longer sight line. But a reasonable sight line, within a couple hundred feet, no, we wouldn't expect that you would see that.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Dylan. Anybody else?
Yeah, could you restate the number of market rate and affordable units by bedroom again?
Sure.
I was trying to jot them down.
Sure, I'd be happy to. That's on the cover sheet of the drawing set, but we have a total of 166 market rate units. And the market rate units, we have 90 one-bedroom apartment units and 76 two-bedroom apartment units. And we have a total of 42 affordable housing units, 4 of which are studio/efficiency units, 4 of which are one-bedroom units, 25 of which are two-bedroom units, and 9 of which are three-bedroom units.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? All right.
Mr. Chairman, do you mind if I ask just one question?
Of course, Andrew.
It's a little unusual, I know. On the affordable units, so what are does the studio meet the minimum requirements for for the size of the unit?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because I haven't really seen, quote, studios in the affordable world. I've seen one bedrooms. I haven't seen studios.
We've designed many, and specifically, if you look at the UHAC regulations, it
Yeah.
says no more than 20% of the units may be efficiency or one-bedroom units. The minimum unit sizes defer to the neighborhood, right? And so these conform with that. So we are greater than the minimum sizes for efficiency, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom affordable units.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any questions from members of the public? This is only questions again for the architect. Questions only. I cannot stress that enough.
Hello again.
Hello again.
This is Nick D'Amico, 424 Conover Street.
Nick, how you been the last couple minutes? Good?
Thank you.
All right, good.
I didn't understand.
How you been?
Oh, I'm okay.
Good, good.
Good.
All right.
You mentioned that a view of the roof being now 50, over a little over 50 feet high in a reasonable location would not be able to see it. Will I be able to see the cooling units from my residence, which is more than 200 feet away? Being as I've lived there a lot longer than this has been planned.
My understanding is your residence is the first residence.
The last on the road.
The last on Conover, adjacent to our site, bordering this property?
That's correct.
Okay, so the closest point of our building to the closest point of your house is approximately 230 feet.
So I would be able to see
So-
the roof units.
No, so what we were saying is the roof units are set 20 to 30 feet back, right, from the roof edge. And sightline diagram, I don't believe that you would see that from your backyard. Again, if we looked at a sightline diagram.
Pythagorean theorem, there's no way.
What am I looking at
Excuse me,
right
sir.
here? Which
May I
which
add
that
something?
picture?
So
You can't do it.
That's an
Excuse me?
elevation.
Okay, but that's the southern side of the building.
This is the front of the building.
Okay. Where is Route 9
So if I'm looking at this elevation right now, Route 9
You
is
got
at my
50
back.
feet.
Okay, so I'm on the other side of that. I'm on the back
He's
side
saying
of
he's
that.
gonna do that.
But we could use that elevation or if you want to go to the
No,
roof.
go back to where we were, that was fine.
So
See that thing on the roof, the gray thing on the roof, is that something I'm going to see?
this?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe you would see that. Again, this is a 2D flat elevation
understand.
as opposed to a section. So you have to draw a sight line 200 from the corner of the building, 230 feet away to the closest point of your structure, right? Again, this is set that far back, so an eye level is here. I'm approximately 5, my license says I'm 5'10", I think I'm a little less, but my eyes are here, and if I'm looking up, right, you're looking through, sightline diagram wise, you would have to look through this building in order to see that from a sightline diagram.
I will see part of the building, but not probably onto the roof.
I don't believe so. Again, from sightline diagram, no. Being approximately 5.5 to 6 feet height as a sightline.
But right now, when I look out of my driveway, just standing in my driveway, looking that direction, I see the berms and the BMX track, and I can see the back of the old bicycle shop.
But that's a different sightline, sir.
Yes, that's
Right.
from my residence to where this is going to be. I'll be looking, well, depends on the berm and the height of the fence and that. I'll be looking about mid-height to the building.
Oh.
The 50-foot elevation from the mean of that property right now, going up 50 feet. It's close to the top of the trees that exist right now. Because the trees are all mostly white oak and chestnut oak, and they're less than 50 feet tall.
I'll take your,
My degree is forestry, so
Okay.
the ones that are there
So-
are less than 50 feet tall.
so I'll certainly take your word for it.
Okay, again, no disrespect, but
Sure.
I will probably see part of the building. That's all I want to know is, will I be seeing the building?
You may, and again, buildings like this require mechanical equipment or appurtenances for cooling them. Now, the absolute height of that rooftop appurtenance and equipment is within the permissible building height of the zoning. And again, I think we've smartly located it, I mean, it's located where it needs to be to feed the building, but my understanding is, given the sight lines, those negative views are going to be mitigated.
That's it. The only thing I would ask this group, this august group here is, you know, we've lived there. There's only
Questions?
6 of us there.
Questions for the architect only.
Okay, thank you.
You'll have testimony
Appreciate
for
your
it.
time.
Promise you.
Yeah.
Anybody else with questions for the architect? Going once, going twice. All right.
Let's go with planning. Amanda?
Thanks, Stuart.
Sure.
I think we're down to one variance, fence. And even though we're going to put it on the berm now, it's still 6 feet.
Right.
So we're going to have Amanda talk about that.
Okay.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
State your name for the record, spell your last.
Amanda, D-A-D-D-A-R-I-O.
Amanda, can you give the board your professional qualifications, please?
Yes, I am a certified licensed planner in the state of New Jersey. I have been accepted and qualified in front of this board before, as many various boards throughout the state of New Jersey. I have a Master of City Regional Planning from Rutgers University, a Bachelor of Science from Rutgers University, and I have been working as a planner for the last 3 years under Christine Cafone at Cafone Consulting Group, and I have been in the land use development industry for the last 5 to 6 years.
We will accept your credentials.
Okay.
So Amanda, based on everything you've heard, I think the one thing we should talk about maybe quickly
Yes.
Is the township's housing element, and then touch on the variance that we're seeking.
Yes, so the township's housing element, the original one, I believe, was adopted back in June of 2025, and then it was specifically re-amended back February 20th, 2026 to include our site. This was to help the township meet its fair share obligation. The township also did adopt the ML17 overlay zone, again in efforts to help the municipality meet their fair share affordable housing obligation. That is one of the purposes of the ML17 overlay zone.
Okay, oh, sorry, I we were done. All right, so then, now that we got that, let's just talk about the one variance that we're seeking for the fence.
Yes, so we are seeking one variance request and 4 waivers. So the one variance request, it has to do with the fencing height, which we discussed previously. I believe that the requirement is that the buffer shall consist of 2 of the following, mechanisms to provide buffering. And as a part of that, it says landscape fencing or walls at least 10 feet high. We are proposing, again, a vinyl fence of 6 feet. I believe that the request to propose a 6-foot fence on top of the 6-foot berm meets the spirit of the ordinance, because then you are providing at least a 12-foot, 12 foot of screening right there. Then as far as the waivers, request is curbing ramps, where curbing ramps are required every 65 feet. We are proposing them at the most highly trafficked pedestrian areas, so we believe that that's suitable. And then regarding the off-street parking space size and drive aisle size, as Mr. Sharifi went over earlier this evening, they do meet the RSIS requirements. From a planning standpoint, we believe that this is not going to be a highly trafficked site like a Wawa would be, or a Quick Check or a 7-Eleven with a high turnover of traffic. It's going to be resident-based primarily. A lot of the residents are already going to know the circulation of the site. They're going to know how to maneuver in and out of the parking spaces and throughout the site, as well as that is a typical and standard parking space size. This day and age, we would like to, keep the impervious surface to a minimum. And then sidewalks as well, we went over that. We are not proposing sidewalks along Conover Street, but we are proposing them along the Route 9 frontage, where we believe that they would be more beneficial. Along Conover Street, there are no existing sidewalks, as previously discussed, but we will agree to do a payment in lieu to the sidewalk fund. And then as part of the positive and negative criteria, I went over the flexible benefits versus detriments. The board can permit a C2 variance under the flexible benefits versus detriments, and that means is that the benefits of the application of the whole application must outweigh the detriments. And also, as part of the positive criteria, the board must find that the application advances one or more purposes of the municipal land use law. In my professional opinion, the application advances purpose G, which is providing sufficient space and appropriate locations for a variety of uses such as commercial, industrial, residential uses, because it is a permitted use in the ML17 overlay zone. Purpose E, to promote establishment of appropriate population densities and concentrations that will contribute to the well-being of persons, neighborhood, communities, and regions. Again, the applicant proposes development that is aligned with the purposes of the MH17 overlay zone and meets the density requirement. And as far as the master plan consistency, again, we are consistent with what's in the fourth round amended housing element fair share plan, and we meet the following goals of the 2026 master plan reexamination, which is to continue to be a stable and diverse community through the provision of a balanced land use pattern, to continue to encourage redevelopment initiatives along the Route 9 corridor, and to encourage and support the rehabilitation and infill of housing stock where appropriate while maintaining the character, scale, and privacy of the established residential neighborhoods in the township.
Good. Any questions?
I agree. This site has been identified in the township's most recent affordable housing plan as a site to provide affordable housing units and help Howell meet their fourth round obligation. The ML17 zone was created to allow for the creation of affordable units on this site. And overall, the proposed site plan is generally in compliance with that zone and the plan the site as identified in the housing element. So I take no issue with this.
Can I ask a question about the development directed to you specifically, and Laura? So I probably know the answer, but is there a way? They are agreeing to put sidewalks on Route 9, and I think, quite honestly, from just a realistic standpoint, paying into the sidewalk fund for Conover Street is a little ridiculous and over the top. There is no sidewalks there. They're agreeing to put sidewalks in on Route 9. Is there a way to kind of, I don't know, work around that?
So I would say no. I mean, the governing body can waive it. The point of our sidewalk fund, though, doesn't mean that we're collecting. So to not put it in on Conover Street, they're going to make a payment to the township in lieu. That goes into a sidewalk fund so that the town can fund sidewalk in locations where they think it's appropriate.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. To me, it's just, they're doing it on 9, and I get it. I understand. I don't know.
I mean, I think the only entity that has the ability to waive that contribution would be council if the developer sought that.
Yeah, okay.
And we probably won't because it's a $10,000 contribution, so it's probably more trouble to ask for the waiver than it would be worth.
Okay.
So, we'll end up making the contribution.
Okay.
That is one thing too. I mean, we haven't talked about it yet, but this project will require a developer's agreement ultimately, particularly because it's part of the fourth round. So it's going to include all the typical affordable housing provisions. That would likely be something that's in there. I know, Laura, there was a comment in your letter about compliance with noise and odor ordinances. Obviously, we have to comply with all the township ordinances, but that's the type of thing that would be in the developer's agreement. So
Got it.
that contribution, along with performance guarantees, inspection escrows, that kind of stuff,
Okay.
would be in there.
Any questions for the planner? Nick, Mark, anybody? No, you guys good?
What she was saying, she was talking so fast and it's just not getting it.
I think she did it on purpose. All right. Okay.
All right, so I thought about this the whole time Amanda was testifying. So we are going to be, we're going to amend and ask for preliminary only.
Yeah.
Based on, some of the conditions that we talked about tonight. Just so we're complete, for purposes of preliminary, I'm going to have John Harder, our traffic engineer, testify.
Yeah, of course.
So I went a little bit out of order, but we're going to do that, and then we can finish after that. So
Sounds
John,
good.
you want to come up?
Thanks, Amanda.
Yep.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your name for the record, spell your last.
John Harder, Harter.
All right, John, can you give the board your professional qualifications, please?
Yes, I'm a senior vice president with TPD. I've been in the industry as a traffic engineer for over 30 years. I have testified and been accepted in Howell many years ago and over 160 other municipalities in New Jersey. And I am licensed in this state in about at least 12 others. And I focus on traffic engineering.
We'll accept your credentials. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So, first thing, there was a traffic study performed by your firm, correct, for this project? So why don't we just talk about that? And then generally, on-site circulation and however you're doing with DOT with those improvements.
Sure, I think this is a pretty straightforward application. And the prior testimony explained the improvements in terms of access. There are 3 driveways along northbound US 9, and we're eliminating 2 of those and creating a new compliant driveway. We're under NJDOT review right now for a major access permit. We just received comments. We'll be responding shortly. The driveway is in conformance with the current access code requirements. In terms of a traffic study, it's pretty straightforward. We just have the right-in, right-out access, and the site, in terms of the trip generation in the peak hours, weekday and evening commuter hours, generates under what NJDOT considers a significant increase. We're generating about 80 trips in a peak hour, and the state, once you're 100 or over or beyond, that's what they consider a significant increase. We need a new permit because we're modifying the access points along the state highway. We have a shoulder, which helps in terms of the accel and decel into the site. We have to comply with DOT's site distance criteria. The site layout is very standard. The site engineer explained that we're providing 9 by 18 spaces with 24-foot two-way aisles, which is standard in the industry, meets ITE recommendations, which is the Institute of Transportation Engineers. Sorry, what else did I miss? Those are the basics in terms of traffic.
I think we just wanted, let's just talk a little bit about on-site circulation and just confirm that no safety issues with on-site circulation.
No, as I just noted, it's really a typical layout in terms of dimensions and geometry. We have pedestrian facilities at certain locations. We have sidewalk along the site frontage. We'll have a raised island that meets DOT standards and a pedestrian crossing through the driveway that will make it clear and visible to motorists.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I have one. School buses, are they, anybody consider school buses going in and out of this place?
I'm not aware. I think the largest vehicle we would expect would be a loading vehicle or a trash vehicle. I'm not aware of school buses that would enter the site.
I wouldn't expect school buses to actually enter the
Yeah,
site for,
that's
yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to.
Could it handle a school bus, I guess? That's a great question.
Well, that's a good question. So if, for example, something big like a school bus or a fire truck did have to enter the site, can we handle that?
Right, so what Amin from Bowler just explained to me is that, and it's standard when we do a lot of work with Bowler, they will always run the fire truck for a site
Worst case
layout,
scenario.
so which they've done. And DOT in their comments also asked for a truck run. They're a bit different to get technical, but a fire truck really can take an entire driveway when they come in. You're not concerned with encroachment, but the design vehicle will have to present to DOT, will have to be, not encroach, and then we'll provide that to the state.
Come on up, Nick. Just questions, traffic questions, that's all. Not a problem. Well, you're not Nick. What's your name?
Catherine D'Amico.
Hi, Catherine.
DEMICCO.
Yeah, my question is about back to the school buses, because where we live on Conover Street, if you cross River White, the other end of Conover Street is where Verdana is, and the school buses cannot get in there, and they drop off all the kids, and they all have to walk down Conover Street in order to get to their development. So the same thing is going to happen to us, because the school buses can't get in there. How are the school buses going to get in there?
Get into our site.
Yes.
We don't, I just
You
said,
are-
I
know,
don't
but I'm just
expect
saying,
that.
You are going to have
Why
school
not?
buses. You have, is this an adult community? No.
I don't know what the plan will be for school children to get to the school bus.
So they're going to be breaking down the fence and coming down our road.
Well, no. This is a question for the application, for the applicant. Again, I think great question. I think they have to.
Has a circulation report been done?
Yeah, so I was just notifying John that we did run a fire truck, which circulated the entire building. School bus is approximately the same.
If you can, is there a circulation report done?
There's a circulation plan that was provided as part of the site plan package.
Okay.
I'm going to put it up.
Okay.
I'm loading the sheets, but continue to ask your questions, and then I'll put it on our screen.
Yeah, because, that was all I'm asking, and you want to do them with the most up-to-date fire trucks, because they are getting larger as they build them. Different things to respond. So if you have a circulation report with the fire truck, it would be larger than the largest school bus you have, so that would suffice, but I just want to see if we have that.
Sure, yep.
Thank you.
Well, and I guess a question too, on top of yours, Catherine, is, are you guys factoring in having a school bus stop at the property?
And we have to go around the entire perimeter of the property to get in and out?
Well, I mean, that's not my concern. My concern is there's going to be kids on this property, and they're going to have to access a school bus. So do you have a safe means of a school bus? I'm not saying entering the property, but a school, bus stop, basically, at the property. I think it's something to consider.
Or was it figured in as far as your peak hours?
Yeah, so as the engineer, that's more of an operational question. So I can't testify to that. All I could testify to is we've run what we feel is the most restrictive vehicle, which is the fire truck, which can circulate the property.
Yeah.
Well, let me jump in and say that I think that is a perfectly reasonable thing for us to find out and come back on final.
Agreed.
Get that answer.
Can I just, what sheet is your circulation plan? It would help me.
So we'll talk to the
if you
school
knew.
district about that, how we're going to
Perfect.
The end of the plan
And just to
set?
clarify, we weren't saying that the school bus can't enter the site, we were saying that.
No, that's agreed.
I think I might have misspoke
Your
earlier
lighting
when I
plan
said
is
that.
how it
No,
ends
yeah,
here.
go ahead.
Lighting details, lighting plan.
Come on up.
I would say if you have,
Just state your name again for the record.
Yeah, Drew Spiro. So with your traffic study, did you study the two jug handles that are going to be extremely used for this? So the one at Sunnyside, because they're going to have to come around to get back into the building, as well as the one by West Farms?
No, we did not.
Okay. 'Cause those are pretty busy to begin with, so.
Is there a reason those were not put into the traffic study of that?
Well, I mentioned being below a significant increase. so
And
if
that's
we-
the reason?
If we were doing a study for DOT and we exceeded the 100 trips at those locations, we would
Got it.
have studied them.
Okay. Well, would the school bus that wasn't factored in put it over?
No, because
Okay.
that would be a single trip
Well,
or two, say in a peak hour, so that's not going to.
no, it's
not
more
gonna
than
be.
100 peak hour trips, and again, that's not going to push it over. It's not going to hit that threshold.
okay. How many you at?
80.
Okay.
Is that the only thing that gets considered in this whole thing, not the fact that,
Well, it's very interesting, sir, that you bring this up, because I've been up here for 10 years, and from a planning board perspective, off-site traffic cannot be factored into our determination of if it's approvable or not, right? We can't, we take in the safety of the ingress and the egress to the site.
Okay.
So whatever's going on at that jug handle, and you may be very right that people are going to be using those to access this property, right? We can't take that into consideration. Our jurisdiction is the ingress and egress to the property and its safety. That's all that we can consider.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I just wanted
Yep.
to draw I did find this is the fire truck turning plan, and they also have a garbage truck turning plan.
not by like critters or like mosquitoes.
So this would be truck coming in, maneuvering the site,
No, because it's
and coming out.
generating trips. You're talking about traffic. It doesn't generate the necessity.
What I think with fire, which I mean, we can hear about fire, as they indicated they're going to meet, they're only seeking preliminary. They may request a wider driveway, because when you look at it here, while it can maneuver the internal circle, the movement to get in and out is going to encroach a little bit. So that would be what my sense is what they're going to require, is that driveway get a little bit wider so that we don't have a conflicting movement into the,
Absolutely, and when they do these circulation reports, a lot of times they use the fire engine, which is typically, 7 or 8 feet shorter than the fire truck, which is also responding. So, but they're gonna have to meet with, the fire anyway to, go over a couple other things anyway, so I'm sure that'll be included.
Sound like a fireman. Sound like fireman. All right, any other questions from the public? For traffic only. Seeing none, I will close the public portion. Steve, what do we got next?
So that's it. So I just want to go over what we're talking about now. So we're going to withdraw the request for final approval. We're going to amend our application to seek preliminary only. I could go through the conditions, or we could do public comment.
I mean,
I wrote down, Andy probably said.
so we got the fence on the berm, right?
Yep.
We're looking into the lockbox of the safety gate.
We're in it, well, let me go through, I have it.
Sure.
So we got fire and police review.
Yep.
That's what we're going to have to do. 6-foot fence on the top of the berm.
Yep.
Is a modification we'll make. We're going to have to revise the plans to comply with Laura's engineering review letter, all the technical comments. We're going to review the berm that was proposed in the
drainage on the backside of the
drainage on the
berm.
back, yep.
backside of the berm to try to mitigate that on site. We're going to provide a detail for the bollards, an architectural detail for the bollards, a detail for the gate, that's the Knox box. We provide a detail for the gate so the public can see. Developers agreement we talked about, which will be a condition of final as well, but, that's a condition, and I could work with Andy on that. And then the school bus, we're going to investigate whether or not either that would be required on site or what's going to happen.
Okay.
So that was what I had as
Yep.
requirements for preliminary.
Are we missing anything? I don't think we are. That's what I have at least. All right. Now, yeah, I'm going to open it up to the public while you have all of your professionals here. Now,
Good.
Nick, Mark, this is your time to shine, all right? This is where you get to ask, comment, put your opinion on the record. This is your time. Anything dealing with the project. And just for the record, for the folks on Conover, this is up tonight for preliminary approval only. This is not for a final approval of the project, because there are some stipulations that were just discussed that need to be taken care of and rectified. So, Nick, the floor is yours, my man.
Chairman, do you want me to swear in the?
Yeah.
I'll swear. I'm good.
Okay,
Well, don't
swear?
swear. We just need to swear you in.
Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you for your time tonight. The issue of school buses is a big one, and I'm sure you're going to look into that. It's more or less the place where the children are going to gather to enter the buses, because we are very familiar with Verdana and how that's done. School buses cannot maneuver through Verdana. I'm talking about a full-size 50-passenger school bus, not the little buses. If you're going to have a lot of children in here, which I expect you will, you're going to have to accommodate the full 50-passenger school buses somehow, and a place for them to gather to get on and off the buses. Route 9 is not a place for that. You don't want them out there. The drainage, that's a big issue for us on Conover Street. The view, the plantings could be very beneficial to us if we could get a nice screens planting, because we've been looking at woods and a bicycle BMX track since we've been there, and gentlemen in the back have been there longer than I have. It's been a very peaceful and nice place to live. It's been, yeah, it's noisy, but it's kid noise. It's, you know, having fun kid noise. It's not not 200 car parking lot. Right now, we're gonna be dealing with actually, I think you said 300 car parking lot there. The lighting is gonna affect us because, you know, it's a 4-story, 54-foot building now, and my house is only 2-story house, and I look straight out like this towards where you're building this. It would have been nice if we got to meet with your group. You know, there's only 7 houses on the street, but we are living there for a long time, and if we continue to live there, it's going to be a change for us. We just hope the board somehow endows them to take into account the people that live there now. I know it's not on your site. Our living doesn't affect your site, but your site affects our living. And we really would like this board to consider the fact that, you know, it's a oil and chip, macadam coated, 1.5 width road, and it's what we have. The town has been very good with plowing. The town is good, you know, picking up the branches and stuff like that, but that's all. We don't even have a street light. We do have all the lights from the BMX track, and now we're going to have a lot of lights, although some shielded. You also increase the candle power over 3 times, from 0.2 something to 1.25. So you did change the lighting unshielded 3 times increase. You increased it by 3 times. That will affect everything I see. It's going to be a bright spot in my front door. I open my door, I will see everything. I will see, you know, all your stuff. And you've made a very attractive building. I would much rather look at woods, being a forester by trade. I would much rather be looking at the woods. I really don't want to see your beautifully your beautiful building, but I guess I'm stuck with it. But please take into account the people on Conover, because we've been there a long time. We like it there, and we want to continue to like it there.
So Nick, thank you for talking. It's been a pleasure. You know, we're all up here to hear you and listen to your comments and concerns, and certainly the attorney is, you know, you brought up the berm. They're looking to do the berm, so they're certainly working with you and are taking into account that you folks have been there for a while and you want to keep your quality of life. So I think you have a good group of people, professionals, especially this attorney, that's working to do the best they can to help you out.
As a plus, it would be nice to get a fire hydrant on Conover. It's fireman I saw. Is that you? It would be real nice to get a fire hydrant on Conover, since we're on wells, and it would be real nice to see that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you,
I really
Nick.
appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you so much.
You guys could have came up as a duo. It's cool.
No.
No?
We like to be separate.
Oh, all right. I like it.
No, just the existing trees that are on the property on Conover Street right now. It'd be nice if they kept them there, that they're not going to clear them down. Maybe put
So
the fence on
if
the
you
yard.
want to, if you look up here,
Yeah, I can't really tell.
this lighter area,
Right.
that all stays. This gets this is the berm area, if you can see my cursor, and this whole area remains. And then this area, as we get closer to 9, this is all proposed plantings. But I believe this is your property, not all of this area stays.
The pointed area is woodland and hill slope. It's a sloping down woodland.
Yeah, I think it's environmentally constrained too, because this is also the
Behind it is
wetlands.
Monmouth County Park system.
Yeah,
yeah,
but none of those trees will be touched. This is the area, if you see my cursor, that would be planted, that's the berm.
That area that
But is
she's
it going to
pointing,
be planted on the outside of the fence or on the inside of the fence?
Well, what the board agreed to was to actually put the berm and put the fence at the top of the berm. So the fence is now going to be at the top, and it'll be planted to the sides of the berm.
right.
And like you said about the road, I mean, the side of the road is really bad, so there better not be any trucks. We've had snow plows get stuck there and everything else, because our road is not great.
Well, we agreed to that, as a condition. Also, I should have mentioned that, but that will be part of our developer's agreement, so we'll make sure.
We don't want sidewalks.
For construction access.
We don't need sidewalks. Thank you.
Thank you. Drew, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm not going to repeat everything everybody else said about just the changing of our whole environment. I mean, 4 stories, it's not that many 4-story buildings in Howell, let alone right on top of our residential, right? I mean, my house is 2 houses to the right of this, if you're looking at the picture, so, people are going to be looking into my pool probably. The gate in the back, though, is that, I know it's locked and everything, but will pedestrians be able to go through there?
They'll have a detail. I mean,
Yeah.
they'd have to be towards the back. I mean, my sense is yes. I mean, the emergency gates I'm used to seeing, they're usually metal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see everyone come
So
through.
you could go around it. I don't know if you wouldn't have a fence because you have the gate, so it's probably fenced to the gate.
Yeah. I
So
mean, if
that's a
it's like
detail that they'll provide, but the honest answer is
Yeah, it's just the next.
someone can get around
amount
it.
of people walking down my street from a security perspective are concerned, right, to go to, it's an easier way to go to Wawa. I mean, Wawa's right on the corner of White and there, So that's one of the concerns, as well as people parking on Conover to walk out the back way.
I don't think Conover is wide enough to
I
support.
agree, it's not.
Right,
But
so
what's to stop people from
it is a public street.
walking there?
So one, it's a public street, so that would require an ordinance. But I would also defer to township officials. I don't think it's wide enough. I mean, even on this imagery, we see cars parked there. I don't know that it's wide enough to support on-street parking and two-way circulation.
Okay, I mean, there's not a cul-de-sac at the end to turn around. I mean, the plows get stuck there all the time and stuff, so be another concern of it, right? And then just in general, right, it's a lot of people put into it's a small area. 8 acres sounds like a lot, but you're putting in 200 places people live, right? That's 500 people plus that are going to be there. That's just a lot of people that are added to a small area. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Mark, you coming up?
No, I got nothing nice
You good?
to say, so
Well, you don't have to say anything nice. It's just that you get it out.
it's like you're killing us. You guys, you didn't protect your, the people that live in the community.
Oh, come up if you're going to talk.
There'll be other days that I'll be
Okay, look forward to it.
checking it out. Don't worry.
All right. Anybody else from the public? Seeing none, I'm closing the public portion. Steve?
No, so like I said before, requesting preliminary approval with all those conditions we noted. We will, with respect to that last comment, we will take a look at the gate and the detail that we're using for that. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like yet, obviously, but, we'll see what we can do to try to limit pedestrian access out that side. In addition, so I wrote that down in my notes also.
Okay.
We'll look, it's always a conflict, right, between, township's got a affordable housing obligation. This is one of the sites identified, and we've also got to try to, work with our neighbors to make sure that everybody is.
No, and I give you credit because you're certainly, you're going far beyond.
Yeah, so we're
I
going to do
appreciate
what we
that.
can to address those comments, but I think that, suggestion for preliminary approval is a good one, so we'll ask for that and try to wrap these things up and come back for final.
Got it. All right. At this time, I am entertaining a motion for approval for preliminary only.
I'll make a motion for preliminary.
Dylan, Mr. Beto for the motion. Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
Mr. McNicholas for the second. Lisa, roll call, please. This is for preliminary only.
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Gimbel?
Yes.
Mr. McNicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Councilman Revelle,
Yes.
Mr. Wetko,
Yes.
Ms. Core,
Yes.
Chairman Huzzer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good weekend. Thank you. Christine, I don't know if do we need to talk about master plan or anything?
I don't have any updates for
Okay.
you, so.
That's fine. Thank you.
Defer till August.
So we have 2 meetings in August, just so while we're all here. I think we've all been doing this long enough that we know how the month of August works, so I will not be surprised if one of those meetings does not happen, but
Yeah.
let's think good thoughts. So, if I'm correct, are we meeting August 6th and August 20th? Okay. Does anybody know of right now have any
Yeah.
conflicts, the 6th or the 20th?
6th for me. Conflict.
My understanding was that a lot of people had a conflict on the 6th.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely a
I am
conflict.
not one, but
I would say it's important to get a quorum here on the 6th, so we
Yeah.
can get that ordinance for the data
yeah.
centers.
Please
taken care
email me or text me, or I'll reach out to Dan. I know he's back, but if you can't be here on the 6th, because it's an important meeting, but I understand summer, families, vacations, money, I get it. All right, at this time, I will entertain, oh, man, almost 10 o'clock. NCIS night, all right. Motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.